Welcome to beautiful Berkeley by the Bay. We're under the lights here tonight for football. As a matter of fact, it's varsity, Kinnick High School varsity football here. And with me is Rob Riegel and John Leinard. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Big game for Kinnick High School coming up against ASIJ. The ASIJ Mustangs coming in here trying to add to their accomplishments for the year thus far. Kinnick High School coming off a loss to Misawa recently. The Edgren Eagles came into our field and put a pretty decent whipping on our boys. But I think tonight, John, we're going to see a little more spirited effort here by Kinnick, and we match up size-wise a lot better with this team.
Absolutely correct. This is going to be an outstanding game and an important game for both teams.
Matt Engstrom to kick it off. That ball is deep, going back downfield to the ASIJ Mustang. That ball is touched and picked up. And Kinnick swarms that back at the 21-yard line. That ball is going to be called down, and a good effort by Kinnick on their first play, where they go down and stop the ASIJ Mustangs for a minimal gain on the kick. And a good kick by Engstrom.
Ray Ponemeyer on the tackle on that play.
You know, one of the Greyhawks was watching the Matt Engstrom. Practice kick before the game, and he was saying, boy, I wish he was on the Greyhawks.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Woods is under quarterback tonight for the ASIJ Mustangs. They line up in an I formation to begin the game, or excuse me, split offset formation. That goes to the first back through. That's number 21.
And he's number 8 with the ball.
Oh, number 8, excuse me. That'd be Scott Mogling, the flanker. He's out of Los Angeles, California. And the ASIJ Mustangs bring in a lot of stateside players. With the exception of a couple of players from Canada and Hong Kong, they're all USA students.
There's Matt Engstrom on the tackle, and a little misdirection play by ASIJ in the first play of the game.
Well,
so that gain is going to be close to a first down, and they're probably looking at that, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and give them the first down on that play.
Now they're measuring, actually.
Okay, going to bring that out. It needed to get to the 21-yard line. It looks like he was just at it, so it's going to be real close on this measurement. And they pull it taut, and that's going to be a first down by the length of a football. And ASIJ on their first down comes up with another first down. And Kinnick's getting ready to sink in to try and stop them on a first down from the 31-yard line.
I was talking to Fred Young there for a moment before the game, and he said that he had a few tricks up his sleeve today, and he was going to try to play on the Kinnick Red Devils.
Fred Young always has a few tricks up his sleeve. He always has the trick plays out there for us.
And Kinnick, a team with speed, is susceptible to that. They rely a lot on their speed, so they compensate sometimes in their defense. That's going to be a handoff, too. That's going to 21. That's the bulk of the carries, Nathan Lee, tonight. You'll see him a lot. He's going to be right there with Matt Woods as one of the people that touches the ball the most. He picks up a few yards, but tackled at the 35-yard line.
You know, it appears that they're actually moving the ball fairly well, even though it's early in the game.
Second down and 6 yards for the ASIJ Mustangs. Woods under center, split back formation in a wishbone. Hand off to
Fumble,
and Kinnick looks like they got that. That was actually a really nice hit put on there, and it looked like coming up in that hit was Engstrom, but I can't really make that call until I see him get up.
And Kinnick does have the ball.
Kinnick's got the ball. Big turnover for ASIJ, and that puts the ball in ASIJ territory where the Kinnick High School Red Devils will take over for 1st and 10 in their first series of the game.
We had that.
Number 65 came up with it.
That's Stephen Francisco.
Stephen Francisco, a name we haven't called much this year, comes up with a big recovery there. And the Devils are going to take over 1st and 10 from the ASIJ Mustang 42-yard line.
Got the first big break of the game. Let's see what we can do with it.
Really important for Kinnick to try and get those breaks and establish some tempo early in the game. Under center tonight, Daniel Ayers. In the backfield, a single back set, Matt Engstrom. Out to the right-hand side is Ray Ponemeyer, and
quick pass.
Nice pass, but unfortunately comes up a little bit short. That pass looked like it was intended for Richard Ball, but came up short.
I think it was.
Yeah,
Richard was right there.
Yeah, it was right for Richard.
Just off to his hip a little bit. He was forced to sit down and unable to come up with the ball.
But I like seeing that. I like seeing Kinnick come out throwing the ball a little bit instead of trying to run it up the middle.
We talked about that from the last game, 1st and 10, to try and mix it up a little bit. Kinnick a little more unpredictable on this call. And again, in a single back set is Matt Engstrand and Daniel Ayers under center. In motion is Gerald Soriano, gets the ball. And he's tackled for a minimal gain at the, probably no gain actually, at the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, ASIJ had that one defensed out pretty well. They do have a size advantage on the line, I think. The defensive line's a little bigger than
yeah, they are a bigger team, and also when you put a back like Soriano in motion, it's kind of a dead giveaway because he's pretty much behind the quarterback most of the time. Ponemeyer and Dominic, looks like Zamora out to the right. So that was for Ponemeyer. He dropped it. It was off his hands. A good throw by Ayers, and that's going to force Kinnick to punt.
You know, I think he kind of was anticipating something there and kind of lost his concentration just for a second. He was ready to roll with that thing.
I think he was probably worried about whether he was going to get hit, but he was standing alone and shouldn't have to worry about that. Matt Engstrom in to punt. And back deep for the ASIJ Mustangs is number 21, Nathan Lee. But a big break for Kinnick nonetheless as they're able to push Nathan Lee back. Beautiful, and that's a beautiful punt, and that's going to go out of the end zone. And probably about as good as you could expect. Matt Engstrom, as you were saying earlier on in the pre-warm-up session, was just kicking the daylights out of it. And I want to let the audience know that was into the wind, just so they know.
You know, I mean, if he's very consistent like that, you know, I mean, he could get picked up by a team in the States.
Oh, he could get picked up by a college if he can kick like that. I mean,
yeah, consistently.
Yeah, consistently, and he does, and he takes a nice step, and he handles the ball well. One of the advantages of being a fullback as well as a punter, and now on defense, we see him at the middle linebacker position. Woods hands off to Nathan Lee. Nathan Lee. Yeah. And he's pounded for a huge loss back to the 11-yard line, and a good effort by the Kinnick Red Devils, who blitzed and took a chance on that run and came up the middle.
Matt Engstrom right in there, and he's going, yeah.
Matt Engstrom and number 62, Anthony Elmore on that play.
All right.
Anthony Elmore, a big addition to the Kinnick High School Red Devils, coming on for his first game of the year. Kinnick 1-1 thus far this year. Played a very tough Misawa team, but still a favorite in this league, and they have to be respected, and there's the reason why. Their defense is very tough.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play against Kinnick, unfortunately, a 5-yard penalty, and that's actually going to end up being a 15-yard penalty when you take the fact that they were thrown for a 10-yard loss.
ASIJ's taking a timeout to talk it over. That play never got developed. There was a confusion in the backfield, which led to a lot of that loss.
You know, just getting back to another sport, volleyball last night, the girls traveled to Yokota, and our volleyball girls were very successful. They won 3 sets. As a matter of fact, the JV team also. JV team won 2 sets in a row, and the varsity girls won 3 sets in a row. So congratulations to our Kinnick High School varsity volleyball team, who is undefeated this year as yet.
Well, we got to broadcast the last home game, Bob, but I'm telling you, I'm still excited about it, and I've gotten a lot of favorable comments from the community who are saying they were just intent on that game, watching it. You know, they came at the right time where they saw the comeback occurring, and of course they're telling me that, Rob, you got to calm down, but I was pretty excited about that. Something I've never seen, a comeback from really, really far down to claim the victory there. So,
well, hey, Rob, enthusiasm is very important.
Okay, so they're calling this a first down for some reason, and 5. Yeah, because of the penalty. So Woods hands off to Lee, who's thrown for a loss in the backfield, and a beautiful play by Kinnick High School Red Devils, the speed showing to the outside as Lee was unable to get around the corner and stacked up.
It was number 65 on the stop, but we do have a flag down, and it's going to go against Kinnick, it looks like.
Personal foul, face mask against Kinnick. I did not see that, but they're going to march that off. That's the 15-yard variety, so not good.
Not good. Yeah, Francisco.
Penalties killing Kinnick in the early going here of this series of downs, where on consecutive downs they've had penalties. And you don't need to give ASIJ anything.
No.
Absolutely not, yeah. They've thrown them for about 20 yards in loss and 20 yards in penalties. Yeah, it's a 15-yarder.
It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to bring the ball up to the 40-yard line, and the net difference here is that basically after the fumble recovery, ASIJ is in the same place they were but 4 minutes later. Offset formation for ASIJ. Woods under center, getting ready to take the snap. One single wide out to the left-hand side of the field. Flanker position.
Oh,
21, and there's a fumble, and again on the ground, and that looks like Kinnick got on top of it. No, Dave Law is indicating that ASIJ fell on the ball, but early on, ASIJ having their problems getting a handle on the luggage.
Yeah, that was going to be a reverse that just didn't happen.
It was a reverse from the flanker position, which is often tough because the flanker's jammed up if you get penetration from the defense, but it's still a nice play and a nice idea to try and, you know, trick them up, and then that's what we were saying earlier. Coach Young was saying he's going to try and do a little of that.
I noticed that Dave Law does have the white hat tonight. He's right on the ball.
Yes, he's the umpire. That was a fake, but it doesn't go for much. As back to the original line of scrimmage goes ASIJ. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 yards. And ASIJ came out in their first series of downs, able to pick up a couple of first downs on their own right, but Kinnick now showing and dictating some tempo on defense, and it's going to be tough.
And that was Engstrom and Jared Fritz on that stop.
Jared Fritz? I thought it was
40.
46. But
No, it's number 40.
Was it 40? Okay. Maybe it's not a 46. I was looking, maybe it's 40.
That's Lee, and that's picked up and sniffed out right away to the 41-yard line, going to bring up a 4th and 9 yards. And that's
Calhoun
Engstrom and Calhoun on there. Tackle there.
Engstrom always seems to be there.
He's kind of like the, what's the guy, Chris Spires type of linebacker, you know, always around the ball. So we're going to see the first punt of the evening for ASIJ Mustangs.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. We're taking caution on that. Nice punt is away. Actually, it looked like somebody got a hand on that.
He did.
And that goes out to the right-hand side.
Who was
That's going to be a net.
Was that 65 on that?
It was either Engstrom or 62, I think.
You know, we need to look. That was an excellent play.
Anthony Elmore.
Yeah.
If it was 65, it would surprise me because that's the starting center, Samar, and I think he only plays one way.
The 65 would have been Francisco again.
Oh, Francisco. So what's Samar's number tonight? 63. Okay, changed on me. Okay, and there he goes to the ball.
Well, whoever it was did a great job.
Yeah, you could see whoever it was got a hand, and it disturbed him if they didn't get their hand on the ball. Ayers to the pitch. That's a beautiful pitch to some room on the running far side there. Number 30,
Mike Calhoun.
Mike Calhoun.
Mike Calhoun has good hands. There's no doubt about it. Whether he's catching a pass or that right there, that was great.
Yeah,
we actually saw Calhoun come in late in the game last week, or 2 weeks ago now, and play quarterback and did a good job. So yeah, he's a very good athlete. He's multifaceted, and this is a good start for Kinnick.
But it was put into his hands by the quarterback, so great job.
Yeah. And ASIJ takes another timeout.
So while we have this timeout, let's talk about one of my favorite subjects. One of my favorite subjects happens to be MWR, because that's who's sponsoring this TV program there, since the B-Pay7 is a division of your MWR. I want to encourage everyone that's out there watching this to please come out and use whatever facilities there are, because it doesn't matter what hobby that you have. I don't even care if your hobby is eating, because even if it is, you can go out to any of our restaurants that are out there. But if you have hobbies that are over at the gymnasiums, there is so much things to do. I go over there periodically, and the place is well used, to say the least. So come on out and let us serve you in whatever way, shape, or manner that we can. As we listen to the band in the background, the band is always out here to support this team.
We have the band, and also the cheerleaders are out here tonight, and so we're really getting into the fall spectacle of Friday night football here. at Berkey by the Bay, and
it's
it's
a
good to
spirit
see.
out here, isn't there?
It is.
It sure is.
Want to tell the fans at home that don't go by the crowd by what's across the field. On our side of the field, it's packed.
That's right. That is right.
Takes a snap. That's going to go to
Ponemeyer.
Ponemeyer with a nice
move.
hole, but closed up quickly by ASIJ. He gets down to about the 37.5-yard
But
line.
he picked up 5 yards that I didn't think he was going to get. Great move there. Did you see that, John?
Yeah, I did. That was a nice inside handoff there to Ponemeyer coming around. It's something we haven't seen him do before.
Yeah, Ponemeyer coming from the end position was able to pick up the snap from, or pick up the ball from Daniel Ayers, but it's going to be a first down, which is most important for Kinnick, because that's their first down of the night. And that's going to get them fired up a little bit. And they're going to that single back set a lot tonight with Engstrom in the backfield. In motion is Calhoun. Ayers sets to throw, has it to Ponemeyer. Ponemeyer down to about the 25-yard line. And Kinnick using a little bit of a quick strike offense here to catch ASIJ off guard. And a lot more passing we see tonight than we did earlier in the first 2 games.
I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That quick strike offense, I kind of like that. That was a good observation, and that's what they're doing tonight.
But I think that's what you need to do, John, with a team like ASIJ, where you've just got to try and catch them off guard as they're trying to do to you.
Well, you got to use your speed, and a good way to do that is to throw the ball, make those short possession passes, and run with it.
But, you know, you see ASIJ's covering the middle well, though.
Calhoun in motion. Ayers pitch back, and that goes back over to, looks like Gerald Soriano. Soriano's still on his feet, still fighting for yardage past the 20-yard line to the 18. And Soriano caught that pitch just when he had to, because under duress was Daniel Ayers, who didn't have about a 1/10 of a second to get that ball off.
Yeah, he got leveled right after he pitched it.
He did wait till the last second. But sometimes you got to do that in order to make it successful.
So a nice option there, and we see Richard Ball report in to give the play. And that's another thing that we haven't seen. Kinnick has run about 12 different plays, and I think ASIJ's got to be wondering, oh, my God, what do we got to do? What are we going to defend against here? And that's just good coaching.
It is. You're right about that.
Ponemeyer in motion. Single back set. Engstrom's the back. Ayers out to the left-hand side, running the option again. Going to keep it, pitches it out to Engstrom, who pulls ahead down to the 10-yard line and out of bounds by ASIJ. Very nice play, and that's going to bring up a first down and goal for Kinnick from about the 8-yard line, it looks like. And that was an excellent play by Ayers and Engstrom, who got out to the left-hand side, basically unabated, and at the right moment, Ayers pitched it out, and the option working effectively thus far for Kinnick on the drive.
Yeah, we're getting most of our yards going outside, which is where we got them last time against Masao, so I think we'll keep doing that.
Hear the crowd out there? They're excited.
Yeah, the crowd is getting raucous, so that's good. Anytime that Kinnick gets close, you're going to hear the crowd in the background, and we encourage that.
Out here. Look at this support.
It's huge. It's huge.
This is great.
This is Americana, and everyone's out here to experience it tonight.
Americana.
Okay, that goes to Engstrom, who powers his way ahead to about the 5-yard line where he's tackled, but a good gain nonetheless for Engstrom, and that was really the first time we've seen him use full ahead out of the single back set.
Had a huge hole to run through on that. Good blocking on the line.
Actually, we got to give credit there to J.J. Samar, who's doing a good job at center up there blocking, one of the bigger individuals on the Kinnick team. And I was talking to his parents tonight, and his mother's saying that he would normally go out for wrestling, but he's not going to do that this year. He's just going to go straight to the weight room to further his football standing. He's just going to.
I don't know. Might have to talk to her about that. Wrestling will further your football program.
Wrestling
football go hand in hand.
Well, she's out there. We'll get John Leinert out there to make sure that she changes her mind.
But there's a great spirit with the wrestling team.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the wrestling team. Let's face it. You know, Kanto playing Far East champions a couple years ago. Big program here. Calhoun in motion, deep. That's going to go to Soriano out to the left-hand side. Get free, but still with some yardage down to about the 3-yard line, but going to bring up a big 3rd down and goal for the Kinnick High School Red Devils.
And we're in 4-down territory. I think we'll go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will.
Good move to get Soriano out there with speed and able to shift, you know, just to cross it up a little bit. But where we're going to see some power come in is we see Engstrom report back in. Also got Dominic Cleary reports in. Dominic, a wide receiver, kind of a split-end type of player.
Yeah, Ponemeyer's in, split out here to the right.
Engstrom the sole back. Calhoun in motion again. Deep in motion. That's going to Engstrom, who's going straight ahead, and he's not playing around down to about the 1 yard line. It looks like maybe 2 yard line.
A little hesitation there may have cost him.
Well, the hole just wasn't there.
He had to slide out, and was a good stop by ASIJ, but a big 4th down play for the Kinnick High School Red Devils. They're going to call a timeout, and probably a good move early in the first half to get a timeout, and let's talk about what we're going to do to get this ball in. They've had some success out to the sides of the field, but on the last 2 plays have chosen not to go that way, so maybe they'll try and do something to cross them up there.
They're looking for the shortest distance to the goal. You know what I mean? It's very tempting that way, don't you think?
Oh, it's very
Absolutely.
tempting. You see that nicely decorated devil sign down there on either end of the field, and be very easy to want to go down there.
Look at that. Provided by who?
MWR. And the field guys have done a good job here. I want to let the people know that may come back from vacation and watch this. We've had a lot of rain out here, and this field is in remarkable condition for the amount of rain we've had. I'm glad to see that the rainy season is finally over. Wasn't it over in June, supposedly?
That's Jesse Eklund and his boys out here all the time.
I tell you what, you look at the other fields in the Kanto Plain, and this is the best.
Oh, absolutely.
They do the best job of lining this field, marking it. It's outstanding.
Way to go, guys.
Okay, big 4th down play coming up for the Kinnick High School Red Devils.
They used to have a favorite little pass play here, a little extra point play they used to run. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that this time.
Well, let's see.
Ponemeyer and Andrade out to the right-hand side.
Quarterback
That's a quarterback sneak right up the middle trying to follow. And that's a touchdown, Kinnick High School Red Devils. 6-0 lead early in the going as Kinnick puts the first scores on the board.
Let's get up a high five for that, Rob. Hey, all right. You heard that on CFA 7.
CFA 7, bringing you the action here tonight as the Kinnick High School Red Devils hold the ASIJ Mustangs in check, and a fortunate blocked punt by the Kinnick on ASIJ lets them march down the field 40 yards, 43 yards for a touchdown on their second drive of the game. And just a beautiful set of play calling there, John.
And they're going for 2 here.
Ayers takes the snap. He's looking to throw, rolling out to the right-hand side.
Look at.
He had a couple of men in the end zone and got a little too excited and overshot him, but he had a chance to get a couple of the players out there wide open.
Get about 3 players.
That was actually the play I thought they might go for the touchdown.
Well, it's a good thing that we did that on the extra point.
Right.
But still,
getting back to that touchdown, Ayers did a good job of following the center right up the middle on that.
He did.
To get across.
He did.
And,
He used the blockers well.
And Samar, J.J. Samar is limping a little bit on the sideline there, but he did a great job, too, of just getting off the ball and drilling straight ahead. And they're going to look at him on the bench, maybe a slight sprained ankle there.
Let's hope that's all it is.
Hope so.
He came off under his own power and probably wouldn't have had anyone looking at him if he just hadn't limped a little bit, and he's getting some attention down on the Kinnick bench.
I just want to let everyone know I have a different cameraman out there tonight, Marty Castaneda. Works over at Subgroup 7 in the daytime and works for me at night.
Little flex schedule person.
Right. Yeah, he moonlights on me at
I have a great flex schedule person at the Seahawk. Amy Aliskad, who's a volleyball player, who's just a great asset to the Seahawk. Engstrom going to kick off. That ball's away, and it's going to go down to about the 20 where it bounces over the head of ASIJ.
Yes.
That's a live ball. People trying to get on that. That's picked up, looks by Lee.
He's got
a seam, but tackled with a really nice tackle. That's a Zamora up on that tackle, and a beautiful job by him. Is he able to get to the back of the legs of Lee and bring him down?
Ariel.
It's a good thing he did, otherwise he might have been off to the races.
And we did see a kick punt return for a touchdown 2 weeks ago. Kinnick showing that they're a little bit susceptible to that, but nonetheless, we don't have to worry about it. At the 3-yard line, ASIJ will take over 1st and 10.
Well, you know, Ariel Zamora is pretty quick.
Oh, very quick. Matt Woods under center. Wishbone formation, they're down in the set. That ball's dropped from the center, and he gets nowhere, and he's going to be tackled about the 25-yard line. He stood up, and they're going to blow that play dead. But basically, the snap ended up on the ground, it looked like. I don't have the binoculars.
Yeah, it was a mishandled snap. He dropped it immediately, picked it up, and tried to get a little something out of it. And ASIJ's offense has not been impressive after that first couple of plays.
No, they came out and had some imagination there on their first few plays, were able to do some things, but actually butterfingers is what we could call it. They've had several balls on the ground, and
they're having
very
trouble holding
fortunate.
to it. Yep.
3 fumbles for ASIJ.
Well,
Same set.
Continues that way.
Woods. Hands off. Looks like Lee again. He's stopped immediately by the Kinnick defense.
There's number 62. Anthony Elmore again. Had a little help from Calhoun on that. Kinnick defense is playing good. They played good against Masawa.
Yeah, they did. Actually, the difference in the game was some big plays by Masawa, one on special teams and one on an interception by the defense for touchdowns. Otherwise, that game could have easily gone Kinnick's way. But one thing about Kinnick is they do have the speed. They always have, and
we
they're
know
able
they
to
have
compensate.
the heart, too. That's important. They got a
That's
lot of
the
heart
biggest
out
thing.
there.
And they're champions.
They are. They're Kanto Plain 3-time defending champions, and that doesn't, you don't take any way. And on the ground again was the ball.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful
Got it
play to the tight end, 84.
Good job, though.
He's thrown down at about the 48-yard line.
That's Kyle Bennis.
Kyle Bennis with the reception, and the tight end, we haven't seen anything from him, but something that we were wondering about, because if you look at that kid, he's a huge target. He's probably the biggest player on the field.
Who was that game-saving tackle? I mean, the goal-saving tackle. Was that number 82 that made that?
On that last play, I didn't get who made that tackle.
I think it might have been 82. And that was Rick Steeny Andrade.
Andrade. Okay, so from the 48-yard line of Kinnick comes the ASIJ Mustangs. Quarterback keep, and as he goes through for a gain of about 4 yards is Matt Woods. Brought down, looked like, by number 40 for the Kinnick High School Red Devils.
Yep.
That's Jared Fritz.
You know, that receiver there that made that large gain was a big target.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's a basketball player. Yeah, I remember him from the basketball team.
So, I mean, that's it. I mean, you know who he reminds me of doing that? It was
He's also the principal's
Kenny.
son, I believe.
Remember Kenny? He was a big target out there.
Second down and 6 yards for the ASIJ Mustangs. 2-back set. They get down in formation. Woods to hand off to Lee, and the ball's on the ground, and it's free. And Kinnick High School trying to come up with it. It's hard to tell.
They got it?
It looks like we got it, but
Looks like we got it.
Kinnick coming off the field, victorious.
Number 65.
Owning
came up
possession
big.
of the ball. Fourth fumble by ASIJ Mustangs, and they got to be just hating it, John.
Yeah,
I almost said San Francisco, but it's Stephen Francisco.
Stephen Francisco.
I understand that, but I mean, I was going to announce it for the halftime show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first and 10 for the Devils at the 48-yard line.
Well, I have a couple that aren't there. I just want to know the procedure of how you're doing it. Oh, it's still very halftime. Thank you.
Okay, first and 10. Nice play to Ponemeyer. Ponemeyer breaks free a little bit to the 49, to the 40, to the 39, and where he's brought down. Nice play. And there again, first and 10 pass play.
Quick hitter, and took a lot of guys to get Ponemeyer down. He's not that big either.
No. And I was looking at them. I was wondering if they're trying to strip the ball right in there. You know, there's a lot of ASIJ players around him.
Well, that's going to bring a first down to Kinnick, and comes Richard Ball in to bring the play in to Daniel Ayers. We had a whistle for some reason.
I think it's the end of the quarter.
That's it. End of the quarter.
What
Going
a
to
ball,
switch
John.
ends.
Look at the clock, you can tell.
Hey, we're coming up to the second half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my headset over because we're going to have a special guest speaker. Dave Warner from Stars and Stripes is going to come up here. So with that, I'm going to just turn my headset over now, and you guys can just ask him some questions.
We'll drill him. Third
Yeah,
degree.
drill him.
What's up, gents?
Dave,
Good to have you
glad
back
to
up
have
here.
you here in the booth with us.
Good to be back.
Good friend to Kinnick High School football, Dave Ornauer. What's your impressions of the first quarter there, Dave?
I tell you, the Kinnick Red Devils are surprising me, but then again, really not that much of a surprise, because over the years they have shown me they may not have size this year, but they've got a heart as big as this football field, and it is showing tonight. They're blocking, they're hitting, they're executing. The first series, not so much so. But their last possession, they just rammed it right down the Mustangs' throats. A bigger, more experienced line. This is a big surprise to me.
ASIJ coming into the game also having a lot more advantage in team strength as far as they're able to play more players than Kinnick. But one of the things with Kinnick also we see is the team speed seems to be dictating the tempo in the first quarter of play thus far, able to get out to the outside a little bit.
Absolutely, and ASIJ is not able to respond. They're not able to get to the outside to shut out the outside speed.
Single back set, Ponemeyer in motion, Engstrom the sole back. Ayers looking to pitch, and he's going to be brought down, and that was a nice play as the number 77 broke through, and that was Jason Watabe able to break through and get Ayers, and probably just a little breakdown in blocking on that play.
Yeah, he came through untouched on that. Dave, you didn't see the Massawa game, but the Kinnick defense played good in that game. They gave up 2 quick touchdowns, but after that they shut them out. Their other scores came on a punt return, interception return. So the defense has been good this year.
There's something about winning a championship 3 times that creates this aura in a ball club.
Attitude,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, we have a 2-back set, a wishbone formation. And actually, Ayers is going to throw that out from the flanker position. That's dropped, actually. They're going to call that incomplete. That looked like Ponemeyer, the intended receiver.
That was Ponemeyer.
Kind of a quasi-shotgun there, which was, I don't know,
That's the old single wing. That's the old single wing set. We haven't seen that in about 25 years.
Yeah, that's up there with the wedge.
Or at least since Bud Blevins was coaching Yokota in 1983. 15 years ago, he ran a single wing because he didn't have a quarterback that could get the ball downfield consistently.
Kinnick sets up to punt here on 4th down. Engstrom to get the ball away. A nice kick. That's going to go out to the corner, the middle of the field, and they're going to let that drop as that comes back down to the 25-yard line.
Soriano downs the ball as it was bouncing the wrong way for Kinnick that time.
We've been able to watch Kinnick now on 3 occasions thus far, and, well, actually 2.5 if you get right down to it. But one of the things we've noticed is that in this game versus the first 2 games, the play calling has changed dramatically. They've mixed it up, thrown a lot more on 1st down than they did with Massawa.
And one of the things that you're seeing the Kinnick team do, and this is something they haven't done in 7 years, is run a modified run-and-shoot set, where they're mixing options with a good mixture of passes.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little earlier. It's like a quick strike offense almost, where they're just 3-step drop, get rid of the ball, and it's been effective thus far. Now they did have to punt on that occasion, but the big difference in the game isn't so much what Kinnick's doing, is ASIJ not able to hold on to the ball. 4 fumbles, 2 of which they've lost, and it's made the difference in the first half of the game thus far.
I don't care how big you are. If you're turning the ball over, you are not going to win.
You heard it from Dave first.
Mistakes will kill you, as Don Meredith used to say years ago on Monday Night Football.
Okay, so ASIJ ready to take over. 1st and 10 from their 26-yard line. Woods, the quarterback. Offset formation. Hands to the flanker. Around the left-hand side, and Kinnick got to that and sniffed it out, and that's actually going to be a loss on the play of about a yard as Scott Mogling was unable to get around the left edge, and nice play.
As Daniel Ayers on that tackle, too.
One of the things that I'm noticing that ASIJ is doing differently from last week in their 26-20 victory over Zama, they have installed a new offense. It's not a new offense, actually, they've used it before. It's a misdirection offense, and it's obviously not working. I think one of the adjustments ASIJ will make at halftime is go back to what was successful for them last week, and that's stuffing the ball down people's throats.
Yeah, and actually their first drive of the game, that's what they did. They went right up the middle and actually had some success until they turned it over. Throws away, intercepted. Soriano on that interception. He's around to the left-hand side, down to the 26-yard line, tossed out of bounds. Kinnick deep in the ASIJ Mustang end and going to threaten to score again as the 5th. Actually the 3rd turnover, but 4 fumbles and an interception now, showing that ASIJ has got to get a little bit of better grip on the ball.
Yeah, that was just a poorly thrown pass there.
Well, he was facing pressure at the very end of that. I saw Ayers was getting in on him, and that may have affected his judgment a little.
Tell you what else, we have a very strong wind coming out of the south, and the ball probably took off on that throw.
So Kinnick's going to take over 1st and 10.
Trips right again, and I mean, they're split way out to the right.
Trips right out to the very far side with Richard Ball nearest to the camera screen. Single back set. Ayers is going to roll out to the left-hand side and take the blocks from the 3 wideouts, and he's still on his feet, and that's a nicely designed play as he's able to get past the 20-yard line down to the, looks like about the 17, where he's gang tackled out of bounds.
Just refused to go down.
Again, that's that heart talking. It's that refuse to quit, never say die. Kinnick once again showing, as Ray Gannon so eloquently said after that Zama game last year, never underestimate the heart of a champion. And you're seeing it right here tonight.
That's exactly right. It's just a good effort so far by Kinnick. They're going to get a 1st down and 10 yards. It looks like about the 11-yard line, actually. And so they got a chance for the 1st down. Have 4 wideouts on the play.
Is that run and
Single
shoot?
back set. That's it. Quick strike here. In motion is Ponemeyer around Engstrand. To the 1st back through Engstrand. There's no gain on that play as ASIJ adjusts to that and is able to tackle him for about a 1.5 yard loss.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go with that ball.
One of the plays we liked and we talked about was the quarterback sneak by Daniel Ayers behind J.J. Samar, the center. Have you had a chance to hear about this kid, the son of the Independence, or excuse me, the Kitty Hawk commanding officer, comes in. He's about the biggest kid out there, and he just drilled a hole out there that Ayers just fell behind and got that score.
And that's the
Good-looking
difference
kid.
in the game so far.
Absolutely.
Shotgun set, 3 receivers left. Boy, they're showing us all kind of looks tonight, Rob.
They are. They're moving the ball around very well, and that's going to be a play. I think we're going to get a procedure penalty there. And it looked like off a little bit early was Andrade, but we'll see how they call that.
It could call it offside. It could be that the lineman forced.
Yeah, an ASIJ lineman jumped, but I didn't see if he was
And that's
fouled.
exactly what it is. A big break for the Kinnick High School Red Devils. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 6. His 5 yards will be taken off.
And that's a rule that was instituted a couple of years ago when the defensive player jumps and causes the offensive player to flinch.
Right.
Then it becomes an offside. In years past, it was always an illegal procedure call.
We're going to get a out here for the Kinnick High School Red Devils, and they want to make sure that they do everything right here because it'd be very good for Kinnick to put them in a hole early, and that's what you got to do against ASIJ is get them down and get them dispirited.
And I'll tell you something, especially after what happened down here last year, even though Kinnick won the championship, their last loss in a 2-loss season was a 36-0 drubbing down here, which John Leinert and I watched last year. And, you know, what can you say after the 2nd quarter when it's already 18-0? What do you tell the viewers after you've said you're sorry?
Right.
I'm telling you, Kinnick is remembering that game, and they
Absolutely.
do not wish, even if ASIJ comes back and wins this thing, they do not want to be embarrassed the same way they were last year. They are not going to permit that tonight. The red and the white has said, you will not turn us into lavender tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, Dave, let's put you on the spot here. We're talking
Okay.
football. You've a few games been out. Who are you going to pick to win Kanto now?
Well, I tell you, before this game, I would have said ASIJ after watching them last week. Well, I tell you, it's a toss-up right now, especially if Kinnick is able to regenerate and play the kind of ball that led them to a 3rd straight title last year. They've got a shot. Yokota is the best 0-3 team I have ever seen. The difference between them and a couple of victories are turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll get to Zama here in a minute, but
right.
you know, let's watch this drive. We could be talking 12-0 here.
Here's in the shotgun set.
Bad
Oh,
snap.
that ball is snapped poorly. He's going to roll out to the left-hand side, and he'd be good off to throw that ball away if he could. Unable to do so, is tackled out of bounds for a huge loss at the left-hand yard line, about the 24. He'd have been better picking that thing up and throwing it out the end zone.
And I think he was running the wrong way to be able to do that.
Yeah, running against his arm.
To be able to do that, well, big loss back to the 23.
That's going to bring up a huge 3rd down situation for Kinnick, as they're going to be facing 3rd down, and they can't get a 1st down. They got to go down to about the 2-yard line to do so, but it's going to be difficult to do.
No.
See what kind of play we've got called here. Out to the left-hand side, 4 wideouts set, 2 on either side, single back formation. Ayers takes a snap. He's looking to throw, and a beautiful block thrown
there
by Ayers, or excuse me,
Calhoun.
Ekstrom. Calhoun running to the goal line, and he is away for a touchdown, but a big yellow flag on the play. And I don't know if that's holding or if that's going to be...
Maybe ineligible receiver,
Yeah,
Rob.
it looked like a lineman got down early.
Yeah, the officials are talking about it.
And this one's not going to stand.
Ineligible receiver.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
That's a loss of down, too, isn't it?
Used to be.
Oh, it's not now?
Used to be.
Okay.
Unfortunate, because Calhoun did a beautiful job breaking away, and obviously ASIJ is going to, accept that penalty.
And also breathe a sigh of relief.
Mhm.
You know, just when the ASIJ defense was starting to assert itself. Yeah, the ASIJ had better accept the penalty.
Mm-hmm. Calhoun doing a good job thus far in the game, and actually came in late at quarterback last week, and you wouldn't have believed it, Dave. He was just an incredible asset because he basically took the game into his hands, and Kinnick won the last 3 quarters of the game against Massawa. It doesn't look like it by the score, but they really did do a good job, and Calhoun was a good reason why.
You know, and there's a wild card in there. Massawa, they are not eligible for the league title, but they could very well end up with the best record in Japan.
Well, and they can end up hurting some people, too, along the way. Very big team.
Big team, yes.
Okay, Ayers hands off to Calhoun, and that's going nowhere.
Yeah,
Fools nobody. And that's going to bring up a 4th down, and I'm sure Kinnick will punt here with a 3rd and about 33 to go, or 4th and 33 to go.
And that's got to be dispiriting for Kinnick, because there they were knocking at the door. They had a touchdown taken away from them, an ineligible receiver penalty.
And in reality, I don't think that the thing that's bad about that is I don't think the ineligible man downfield had any effect on the play. So it's just one of those small mental errors. But Kinnick, that's one of the few where ASIJ, they put the ball on the ground 4 times and had an interception. So they're still not out of the woods yet. It'll be interesting to see how they respond after they've had so many problems in the early going. Going to go for it on 4th down. Not sure as to why. That's out to Calhoun, who drops the ball. That ball's fumbled. Can't progress to the 30-yard line.
They're ruling it incomplete.
Yeah, never had control of it.
So it's going to go down back to the 33-yard line, and unsure as to why we didn't punt there, but we didn't, and ASIJ is going to take over from the 33.
And this could be a momentum turner as far as the game is concerned, because the red and the white had a big 12 spot on that board, and away 6 of them came. So you just have to see how will ASIJ respond. Will Kinnick let down? It's kind of hard to say. Only time's going to tell. But this could be a big momentum turner.
Wood under center for ASIJ. Hands to the first back through. The fullback, he's got a big gain out to about the 42-yard line. And that looked like on that play was David Priestley on the carry.
Priestley, a hard, straight-ahead runner, had trouble holding on to the football against Zama.
I noticed he put 2 arms on that one coming through that hole.
Well, his coach, Fred Young, last week, yelled at him many times. I was on their sideline last week. Don't let carry that football like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, Anthony Elmore in that tackle there with some help from the other Red Devils.
If I may continue with a look around the league.
Please.
Yes.
Would you, after having watched Zama as many times as we have, John, would you believe that last week they threw almost as many times as they ran?
Well, they must have gotten a quarterback in that could throw.
They have a couple of people who can throw, Alex Miller and Marquise Berry, Tiger Berry's younger brother, who can put the ball in the air. And they've got a receiver with a sure set of hands. Burt Matthews is probably as sure-handed a receiver that Zama has had since Jason Sugg all those years ago.
I remember Jason well.
But even then, they would just run, ram it down their throats. I mean, Jay Gilbo's philosophy was passes? We don't need no stinking passes. Othell Terrell, laid back, quiet, said, hey, I don't care if it's a run or a pass as long as it's a run. 15% of their offense last year was passes. Last week, 50%. People are going to they're going to have to be prepared. Zama is not just, they will not just keep the ball on the ground.
So we don't have the Woody Hayes, got 3 plays and they're all up the middle. It's just different downs.
Something like that, yeah. And
that game was played at ASIJ, right?
Yes, it was.
So, and they last play of the game, they lose the game. So,
right.
So Zama's tough.
That was an excellent football game. It's one of the best games we've seen in the league since that '94 clash between those two teams. that meant first place.
Okay, we're going to get a first down and 10 from the 42-yard line for ASIJ. Woods under center, offset formation, two-back set. And that goes to the flanker, number 8. He's wrapped up and brought down for about a gain of about 4 yards at the 46-yard line. Nice tackle.
Mike Calhoun again.
On that carry was Scott Mogling, the flanker.
Yeah, if I was Fred, and I'm not, I'd go back to the basics, just straight handoffs, power that ball up the middle, and get rid of that fancy stuff right now, because they're not in sync on that tonight.
They were running a variation of the wing T, and that's a very, very intricate offense to try to run. I'll tell you a little story about that here in a couple. But it is a hard offense to master in a week.
Second down and 6, snap taken, and a nice tackle made on the first back through. Looked like Lee in on the carry, Engstrom on the tackle, and it was Lee on the carry. Engstrom got in there, and also 65 was in there.
So to make it 3rd and 9 from the 43, and
Steven Francisco in there again. We've been calling his name a lot
we have.
tonight.
He's done a good job.
Great job.
2 fumble recoveries.
Done enough that I'll remember Francisco when I say number 65 now. How's
Get
that?
this, Kinnick has just called its last time out.
Well, I think that's probably a good scenario. One of the things that Kinnick does have to do is they have to play both sides of the ball with a lot of their players, a very, very small number of players on the Kinnick team. And when they can in the first half, they're trying to call them when it's appropriate to just get some breaks and make sure everybody's settled down. So with 6:20 left in the quarter, probably not a bad timeout. You can't take them into the locker room with you.
And they just took Engstrom and Anthony Elmore out of the game.
Give them a breather. And I tell you, Matt is one of those heart and soul guys from last year's championship team.
Now, I'll tell you what I think. I'm going out on the limb here. I think Stovall pulled him out because of the celebrating out there in the field on that play.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's giving him kind of a look, and they went over and sat on the bench.
Only the kind of look that Stovall can give you.
Yeah, so I think he's sitting them down for a minute saying, you think about it.
But yeah, is it possible for Kinnick to make it, to bring forth the title? And I spell that F-O-U-R-T-H.
Yeah, we hope that it is. They got their work cut out for them.
I think it's very possible a team that wins it could have 2 defeats this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of parity in the league, and it's going to be tough. Big 3rd down play, quarterback set to throw. That's Woods. He's got a man free, but unable to connect as it was poorly thrown downfield. Intended receiver was Mano Misisi, who was unable to come up with the reception.
And Richard Ball had good coverage on him.
And this will be a punting down. Manu Masisi, one of the many guys with unpronounceable names that come through that program. He's from Hong Kong. Now, ASIJ has had some players from as far away as Fiji from years ago. They had a rugby player from Fiji many years ago with the conventional name of Ernest Walker.
Very nice. Good for all of us that have to broadcast. The punt is fumble on the punt, and he's unable to get around the end, and he's going to be tackled in a big play for Kinnick as he's tackled at the 35-yard line and unable to get the punt off with the poor snap to him. It was a little off to his right-hand side and over his head, and another mistake and another misfire by ASIJ gives Kinnick great field position, and you got to wonder when they need to take advantage of that field position.
Well, they do right now. That was Ray Ponemeyer in that stop. Good tackle by him.
I'll tell you, ASIJ's got to be in shell shock right now.
Nothing's working for him, that's for sure. I'm
certain they expected to come in here, face a smaller team in terms of size and numbers. Maybe they were just a bit overconfident after their victory last week. And it was a tough victory, and they expended an awful lot of emotional energy winning that game.
I think the same was true with Kinnick. I think they were shell-shocked when Misawa came in. They had an easy victory over Yokota, and, ended up that they were a little shell-shocked, too, and we could maybe be reciprocating some of that. Nice pitch to Soriano, who's met immediately at the 40-yard line for a loss, and he's a little slow getting up.
Mishandled the pitch, and he's lucky to hold on to that.
Absolutely. Very lucky to hold on to it.
Good job of holding on to it.
But I'll tell you, Kinnick is going to surprise an awful lot of people all the way down the line. This team they can do nothing but get better, and they've really grown.
Yeah, they've retooled pretty much with the exception of a few players. I mean, you still got Calhoun and Ball and Ayers and a lot of people that were on the team last year, but a lot of new faces here for sure.
But they've had that spirit instilled in them, Rob.
Ooh.
Beautiful pitch back to Ponemeyer, desperation pitch, but still the net loss back to the 49-yard line. A good idea by Ayers as he saw Ponemeyer behind him, but unable to get the ball to him in time for him to break free, and that's a huge loss again.
ASIJ was right in there on Ayers. He probably should have kept it and taken the loss himself.
Well, their defense is starting to assert itself.
Yeah, it is, and one of the things that we're seeing here is that when we first started the game, it looked like we'd have 30 points apiece on the board, and we may not see another score yet tonight the way both defenses are playing.
Yeah, 6-0 could hold up.
Kinnick's going to have to hurry here. Ayers tried to call a timeout, and the official said nope.
No more timeouts.
Can't do it.
Play clock down to 8-7, and he's going to have to hurry to get this play off. And he'll be able to, it looks like, and does. He sees a receiver almost intercepted.
Yeah, going for
that
Ponemeyer.
looked like number 20.
That was Nathan Lee. And I'll tell you, if he snags that
He's
ball
gone.
and keeps his feet,
he's gone.
That he had nothing between him and the goal but dry land.
Absolutely. The predominant running back for ASIJ, Lee, who plays both ways, like many of the Kinnick players.
Caught the game-winning pass last week with no time left on the clock.
And Kinnick's not going to screw around this time. They're going to go for the punt on 4th down, and Engstrand's back. And there's a whistle.
I think we had too many players in the field.
Illegal participation, and that's going to cost Kinnick 15 yards.
Yeah, that looks like what it's going to be because we couldn't get the player off in time. They were trying real hard to get number 50 to the sideline.
Well, no, actually, I think we had 11 people. He thought he had to come off, though. I just counted him. He made a mistake trying to come off, and, of course, that's illegal procedure.
Okay, so 5 yards,
5-yard
much
penalty.
better than
Just
15.
Illegal procedure call.
Yeah.
4th and 29.
4th and 29, and we've seen 4th and a lot of long plays on both sides today as the defenses have really set in and are starting to dictate tempo in the game. Engstrand back, gets a snap on the ground, able to get that ball off. Very, very poor punt to the 40-yard line. It goes out of bounds as he was facing pressure and did good just to get that off.
Yeah, he was lucky to get that one off. I thought it was going to be blocked. So the SIJ poured right through the line.
They sure did. I think he probably just kicked it to the left of that group just to ensure that he would get even some decent yards.
That wouldn't surprise me. Very heady player, a lot of experience in Engstrand. And ASIJ will take over in pretty good field position here from their 40-yard line with about 4.5 minutes left in the period, and they've got plenty of time to do something to counter the 6-0 Kinnick lead.
Let's see if ASIJ does anything different.
Woods in the I formation, second back through. A little bit of a change as they go from the I formation for the first time tonight. And that looked like Lee on the carry there is able to get up to the 42-yard line for a gain of 2. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they've gone back to the offense that they used last week.
That was Engstrom and Steins on the tackle there, by the way.
I guess they probably came to the conclusion that the misdirection offense was just not working.
Engstrand's in there a lot as the linebacker tonight, John, on some of these tackles. You're calling him quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he's been in on the majority of the plays, that's for sure.
Okay, offset formation. 2 wideouts, wide out and a flanker.
Then they go back to
the flanker, number 8. He's got a little bit of a hole there across the 50-yard line for a first down, and that's Scott Mogling. And that play's worked on a couple of occasions thus far.
Yeah, Richard Ball on the tackle there.
It worked for big yards a week ago against Zama and helped set up one of their touchdowns.
We've tried that ourselves, actually. We had Ponemeyer come from the flanker position, and we ran that same play off to the same side of the ball, and we did pretty well with it in this game. So it seems to be popular tonight, and maybe I've seen it 10 times in my whole life until tonight.
Depending on which hole you run it to, it's either a reverse or a scissor.
That ball is a free, and that should be live. Nope, they're going to call that incomplete. He never got his hands on it. Looked like he got his feet down with his hands on the ball, but a hard hit nonetheless by Kinnick.
Yeah, he never had control of that pass.
2nd down and 10 yards from the Kinnick 48-yard line.
And that's one of the hardest calls an official has to make. It's strictly judgment. Did he have the ball? Did he not have the ball?
Well, we are pretty proud of this officiating crew here at Yokosuka. We got to say they do a pretty stellar job year in, year out here. Woods Dropping back to pass. That ball's away. Daniel Ayers picks it off. He's got an opening to the left-hand side around the corner to the 50 to the 45-yard line, where he's met down to the 42-yard line. And a beautiful interception as he came over his shoulder to intercept the pass from the left side linebacker position. And a nice run back as he's able to pick up about 20 yards on that run.
And mistakes keep killing the Mustangs.
Fourth turnover of the night, and it gives Kinnick plenty of time with 3 minutes left to try and get some offense going to add to their lead.
Illegal block, that's going to cost them.
Illegal block penalty after the on the run back.
That's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and
Looks like there's a penalty on the run back.
So that'll set him back just a bit. But once again, shoot thyself in foot-itis strikes ASIJ.
What are they?
Four turnovers in the first half of play thus far for ASIJ, and their coach has just got to be pulling his hair out. He
doesn't have much hair to pull out.
Coach Young has got to just be wondering what he's got to do, because it looked again like ASIJ was starting to dictate a little tempo. A couple successful first downs there, and unfortunately, they come out on the poorer end of that turnover.
Well, that was the thing that Fred Young was worried about at the start of the season. Would his skills players be able to execute the offense? There was very little doubt about the line.
Soriano, the first back, threw the pitch out to Calhoun to the right-hand side. He's got a little running room out to the right side of the field, brought down to the 49-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 3 yards on the play. And he did a great job getting out there. The pitch was nicely made by Ayers. And one of the things they did, too, there is that in their single-back set, they put Soriano back there instead of Engstrom this time.
Bring up 2nd and 6 from the Mustangs.
Not having any timeouts going to hurt Kinnick here in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
But they've got the lead, guys.
Yeah,
they've got the lead.
got the lead.
I don't think if they score, great. If not, they've got a 6-0 lead. Take that into the locker room. Be happy with it.
And they also get the ball first in the second half of play is another thing to consider. That ball's going to be handed off to the back, and that's number 11, Engstrom, who's got an opening out to the right-hand side. He's down to the 30-yard line, and this is where you'd really like to see those timeouts come into play, because now they are threatening, and they're in a position to do something. And I think we're going to see some hurry-up offense here. Soriano checks in.
As number 7, Matt Woods, their quarterback, with that tackle, touchdown-saving tackle.
So with 2 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock, they stop it to adjust the chains. They're going to start it again, and Kinnick gets up to the line in pretty good shape. Good job by the coaches to get that play in early. Ayers under center. Single back is Soriano. 4 wideouts in motion is Ponemeyer. And the pitch is out to Soriano, cuts up to the left-hand side. He's got a little room and finds a seam, but still brought down a little bit short of where he thought he would get to. It looked like about the 2-yard gain there. But the run, maybe not such a good idea here with a little time left. Maybe a couple strikes to the end zone would be appropriate. One thing we do know about Daniel Ayers is he does possess a lot of foot speed, and he's got a decent arm, but he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, and that may be coming into play as the coaches make their decisions on the play calling here. 1 minute and 12 left in the period.
Going into the wind, too, Rob.
Yeah, going into the wind a touch. Ayers drops back. He's got Calhoun, who's out to the left-hand side, needs to get out of bounds, and does, and that stops the clock, and he's down to the 20-yard line, and that'll give Kinnick a couple of shots to just strike it down there in the end zone. It's very possible we could put something up here before the end of the half.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We need to keep the ball in the air, though, because the running play is going to hurt us.
Dave Ornauer is going to leave us for now. We appreciate Dave coming to talk to us again. We may try and get him back on a little bit in the second half. And one of the things I'll say about him is matter expert for sure in Kanto Plain Sports. He's not the sports editor at Stars and Stripes for no reason.
No, he knows what went on way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Biblical sports editor.
Timeout on the field.
So ASIJ takes a timeout, and that's kind of a break for Kinnick. They get to talk over what they're going to do here.
It is a very big break for Kinnick, but probably what ASIJ is saying is, hey, look, we can't give it up here. You know, we need to be defending this, and no matter what it takes, we can't let them score because their defense has proven to be too strong thus far.
Yeah, and what I'm a little worried about is ASIJ in the second half coming out and making that adjustment and start pounding that ball up the middle. and wearing us down a little bit.
I think you're right there, but one of the things they're going to have to do before they do anything is get a grip on the ball.
Well, if they start doing just one simple handoff up the middle, that should work a little bit easier than all these tricky plays they're trying to run.
Absolutely. As always with MWR things coming up, we got a Columbus Day softball tournament we want to talk about a little bit. October the 3rd at Berkey Field Complex. September 29th is the deadline for that, and you can pick up your schedule if you do sign up on October the 1st. It's a round robin for seeding purposes, followed by double elimination, and for information on that, 243-7264 and only $100 per team, so a bargain at any cost. Single back set, 2 wideouts to either side of the formation, and it looked like we had a penalty there by ASIJ as they come across the line and knock... And once you make contact, it's irrelevant what the offensive player does. So a good break for Kinnick there is it's going to take 5 yards from ASIJ. Oh, no, they're calling that false start.
False start on Kinnick. I didn't see that.
It looked like 70 got across and pushed him back. But
70 came right across and hit him, but I guess he must have moved because, I mean, why would he do it otherwise?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I was kind of surprised that he did that.
Yeah, it looked...
but I didn't see the move.
I didn't either. But hey,
must have been something.
I'm blind, so... Okay, so same formation, actually. Engstrand the sole back. Ayers looks to throw deep and does towards the end zone towards Calhoun, and had a step on the defender, but unable to come up with it. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Let's try and make a few strikes to the end zone, and if we don't get it, hey, all the merrier.
Yeah, actually, that play was open. If that ball had been there, it had been a touchdown.
Okay, so that brings up a 4th down, and Kinnick's got about 8 yards to make before they can get to the first down. Okay, shotgun formation. He's looking deep. He's got defenders all over him, and that ball's up for grabs, and ball's on the ground, and that 4th down attempt comes up for naught, and ASIJ will take over, and it'll be interesting what they try to do with 50 seconds left on the clock, because they don't have many timeouts left either, if any.
We were lucky that one wasn't intercepted.
Yeah,
that
very
could have been a big play for ASIJ.
Yeah, Daniel would have been better off just throwing that out of bounds.
Yeah,
but
he was under heavy rush there and falling down when he threw it.
Absolutely. In addition to the softball tournament coming up on Columbus Day, we've got after midnight live stride, 1.5 kilometer run coming up. I'll tell you more about that after the snap. Woods is the quarterback. 2 wideouts to the right-hand side. He's looking to throw. They're not going to concede anything in the first half. That ball is away, and that was off Soriano's hands. And also the receiver's hands is number 25, Mano Masisi, unable to come up with it.
Yeah, he should have caught it, and then Soriano had a shot at intercepting it.
Yeah, 2 should have caught it there.
Yeah. But ASIJ's not content to run the clock out. They're trying to get something going here.
September 30th, beginning at 2 a.m. Don't expect to see me there. Deadline for sign-ups is September 29th at 4 p.m. And gift certificates, as always, presented to the top finishers. Okay, 2nd down and 10 with just 43 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Woods puts him down in the set formation. That's going to be a reverse to the flanker, actually, and unable to come up with any yardage is Mogling as he's brought down. Looked like Engstrand on that tackle
Calhoun
one more
and Engstrand,
time.
both of them in there.
Engstrand's got to have like 20 tackles
He must.
thus far in the game, so an unbelievable effort by him.
He just might be our player of the game after this.
Thus far there's no question about it, because the defense is definitely the reason why Kinnick's on top thus far. Okay, and they're going to let that one run down a little bit, it looks like. No, they're calling their timeout, last timeout.
They had one left. I thought they were out. So you can expect a trick play here. They're either going to just down it and let the clock run out, or there's going to be some sort of trick play, because Fred is known for running those.
Thus far, anything that he's tried to do that's been real avant-garde has been picked out pretty successfully by Kinnick. I think the one thing that Fred's going to take back when Fred Young, when he talks to his team at halftime is, hey, look, we could be dominating this game if we held on to the football. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles are the biggest difference in this game. But Kinnick defense doing a good job and unyielding thus far, as it looked like when the first series of downs came up, they were going to get marched all over, but they've stepped up pretty big.
Yeah, they absolutely have. And Like we called Engstrom's name a lot, Calhoun, Francisco, they've all been out there. Anthony Elmore been playing a great game on defense.
And you see Daniel Ayers is very, very deep for Kinnick right now. They are not going to give him a chance to get anything by him if they can help it. And you're going to see him play center field here on this play. And they are passing. That's out to Mogling. Mogling out to the left-hand side. And he does get some yardage on that. He may be, he looks like he got a first down.
I think he got the first down.
But doesn't give him really much to work with to try and get the ball downfield, as they're still shy of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we'll give him that play all night.
Mogling is a pretty nice-looking player there. He's run the ball pretty well and also seems to have good hands. What I'm surprised they haven't done is gone back to that tight end with the play that was very successful for him earlier.
Actually, it's fourth down and about 9 yards here. They were on the wrong side of the sticks.
Ah, there we go. My mistake. And they're going to throw again, and this is going to go deep. And there's a play, and brought down, thankfully for Kinnick, as Mogling comes up with a huge reception. We were just talking about him towards the center of the field, and that clock's going to run out. I don't see him doing much, but...
Ponemeyer with that tackle.
And that was a touchdown-saving tackle if there ever was one. And they're going to drop the backs, the linebackers back and the safeties back, and try to avoid a similar occurrence there. But one of the things, the reasons that play was successful is because the middle of the field was open because our backs were off the ball so far.
They're not going to get it off. They didn't get the play
That's the end of the half. I don't think they realized that the clock was running after the first down.
Yeah, I don't think so. They thought it was a dead clock until they snapped the ball. So.
Well, this is Rob Riegel and John Leinert bringing you C-Phase 7 football with the Kinnick High School Red Devils up 6-0 over the ASIJ Mustangs. And the big story of the first half thus far, the turnovers by ASIJ. And we'll get back to you in the second half.
Beautiful Berkey by the Bay as we see the captain shaking hands out there. The score is 6-0 in the favor of the Kinnick Red Devils. And Rob, how do you think it went the first half?
Well, John and I were commenting just before the half that the Kinnick defense is the big difference in the game. Part of the difference is ASIJ Mustangs, of course, turning the ball over, but you don't know exactly what part of that was caused by Kinnick, you know, who got a hand in where. Daniel Ayers came up with a big interception.
Oh, yes.
But both defenses doing a good job. Kinnick, fortunately, able to get down deep into ASIJ Mustang territory after a turnover and get 6. And as Dave Ornauer said before he left, that may hold up. We may see a 6-0 game here, and it wouldn't be a surprise to anybody that's watched the first half, I don't think.
It wouldn't you know.
I think
it matters if we get a little...
I think we're going to see more scoring, though.
I hope so.
I think
on our part?
Yeah, on our part, definitely.
Okay.
You heard it first from John Leinert. He's going to will us to victory here. One thing that Kinnick has done real well is they've mixed up their offense. When they have had the chance to get the ball, even though they're undersized, they've been able to change the plays and throw ASIJ off guard. And I think we're going to need to see a lot more of that in the second half to kind of mix that up a little bit. And ASIJ, we just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, how can you've put the ball on the ground 3 times and intercepted twice. What can you do to correct that? I mean, that's just the basics there.
And a little bit unusual here, but perfectly understandable. Kinnick's going to kick the ball off. They had the option. They could have received it, but with the defense playing the way they are, they want to stop them down there deep, and then they also get the wind in the fourth quarter.
Right. I think the wind is going to be very important. to this game. I think that, one good kick to put people back in a punt or, a good kickoff is going to probably loom large here in this game.
Well, I'm sure the coaching staff feels like they'll be able to get a good kickoff here, hold them, get the ball back in decent field position, play on the ASIJ side of the field.
And based on what we saw in the first half, rightfully so. I don't think this is some, pie in the sky type of judgment here. Okay, so Matt Engstrand going to kick the ball off, and we're going to get underway in the second half as he gets the ball away on the ground, and a smart move there, mishandled at the 35. Coming up with the ball with some room to run down to the 45 is number 32, the fullback, and that's David Priestley on the carry. Looked like number 34.
Yeah, 34 with the tackle. That's Matt, isn't it?
Matt Steins, yeah.
Comes up limping a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be all right.
Yeah, it looked like just a little bit of a thigh injury. They send him right back out. Yeah.
So you can't be hurt. Get back out there.
Yeah. Get out there and
Mike
play.
Murphy telling him, hey, you're playing defense, buddy.
Okay, so the Mustangs are going to get back into an offset formation to start the second half. And that ball is bobbled immediately and thrown for a loss. It looked like, again, Lee on the carry, and he was tackled and met immediately by Ayers and Engstrand.
Well, Jared Fritz was in there, number 42.
He just got up so quick I couldn't see. But
yeah, he hopped right up.
Okay, and Steins comes off again, and he's actually complaining this time. Hey, look, I'm really hurt.
Yeah, a little twisted ankle there or something.
Yeah, I think he's just got to walk it
off a little bit.
Okay, so that's going to bring up a second down and about 14, 15 yards almost for a first down. And Woods, the quarterback for ASIJ, not much going for him in the first half as he was unable to come up with much in the passing game. That pass is off and a nice play and away. And fortunately tackled at the 30-yard line was number 8, Scott Mogling, and it looked like Soriano tackled him, and if he hadn't, he'd have been off to the races. And here we're seeing a little bit of a
flag on the play, though. Got a flag.
Illegal procedure. We're going to move that one back, and the Kinnick crowd is going to go nuts over that one. But I got to say, most of the flags in the first half went against Kinnick and for some of the same things, and they're backing them up. And Kinnick had a touchdown called back on a penalty.
That's right.
So, don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm not going to shed a tear. And that's a big, big loss for them, as that's not only going to bring up take away the loss, it's going to bring up a huge, huge second down again, as it's going to be about 2nd and 20.
But that play was open. They've run that a couple other times. That play's been open, and if he'd caught that in full stride, he might have been gone.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so we're going to see the 2nd and 19 play from the ASIJ Mustangs as Woods gets ready to take the snap in the I formation. That throw again, an overthrown, and they were going to go back to the well again on that
play,
one. And fortunately for Kinnick, it was a little bit high because he was open, but that's very tough to defend against when you get that slant across the field like that right off of the snap. And Kinnick, very fortunate there, is going to bring up a big 3rd down and 19.
I guarantee you Fred's got a 3rd and 19 play in his playbook.
I'm sure he does. So, Bob, you got the chance to walk around in the second quarter. What's the feeling with the fans and the coaches and stuff after the first half of play?
There's a lot of excitement over here, and extremely a lot of support out there for the Kinnick Red Devils. They were really
hand off to Lee, off to the left-hand side, and a hard hit, and I didn't get to see it. Looked like, and I'm trying to follow the number. Looked like Calhoun.
Calhoun's one
on a nice hit there, and that was a big play because it looked like he had some running room, but it closed up very quickly there on the right-hand side, and ASIJ will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Calhoun got the hit, but there were a couple other Red Devils right there with him.
Back deep is Daniel Ayers to receive the punt, and ASIJ will have the wind with them in this particular kick.
They've had a little trouble in their punting game so far
Kyle
tonight.
Bennis had one go almost over his head, and it was unable to get the ball off, so we'll see how that goes. Nice snap, and that ball's away and unable to be blocked.
Not a good kick, though.
It's not a very good kick, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 44-yard line before anyone can get a hand on it. And that gamble pays off for Kinnick as they get great field position to start their first series of downs in the second half.
Yep, with the help of a penalty there.
It hurt Kinnick on one play and helped him on another, so it all works out in the wash. And Kinnick, we're going to see on offense, and we wonder what kind of adjustments they could make. John, you think they could do to come out in the second half and get some more going?
Well, they've thrown everything at us, really. They've run all kinds of different plays out of different sets tonight. I think they'll just keep doing what got them the touchdown in the first half. Not much more they can add, I don't
Single
think.
back set, 4 wideouts in motion goes Calhoun behind Soriano.
Yeah, he
and
gets
it's
the
going
ball.
to go to Calhoun, and that's picked up early.
Yeah.
And they've run that a few too many times tonight as they've gone back to the flanker on the carry. Basically, it comes up to an end around, even though the flanker is in motion. And it's going to be a loss on the play of about 4 yards and going to bring up a 2nd and 14. But that one looked like ASIJ was in the locker room at Kinnick.
Well, yeah, that one started off in slow motion and stayed in slow motion,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
It just never got going.
And I'm sure we got it on camera in slow motion.
Ball and Calhoun out to the left-hand side, Ponemeyer, and it looks like Cleary out to the right. In
There's
motion
that
is
play to
Ponemeyer.
Ponemeyer.
And they're going to do it to the other side, and it's the same play, but to the other side, and that one loses 3 yards.
Yeah.
Number
So maybe we
62
need to
of
put
the,
that one in the book and
Yeah,
put it
when
away.
they ran that in the first half, it got some good yards, but they were waiting on it.
Yeah, David Keebler. Nice job by him.
So I think Kinnick needs to get the ball back in the air. They've had some success with that.
Yeah, they've had some success, especially to Calhoun coming from the flanker position, and Ponemeyer with a couple of big receptions in the first half to get him down in scoring position. And they're going to go in a really predicted 3rd down set. It looks like they're going to pass 4 wide out set. Calhoun in motion in front of Engstrand. Soriano. Ayers with a lot of time to throw. That ball's away to Calhoun. A nice play, but he's going to be short of the first down as he can only get to the 49-yard line. He's going to end up about 4 yards short, and it'll be interesting to see what Kinnick does here.
They're probably going to kick.
Smart play to be to kick.
Yeah, I think you're right, but they're kicking into the wind, and I think that was a consideration when they didn't kick the last time they had the ball in this direction.
True. But they're lining up in punt formation
Yeah,
this time.
absolutely. Engstrand's back to punt. And if he's smart, he's going to try and jerk them off sides with a snap count or something because they could get a first down if they did it right. Okay. 4th down and 4. The snap's away a little high, but Engstrand fields it nicely,
Nice
gets the
low
ball on
punt.
the ground, and that was nicely done. And it's exactly what you got to do in that situation, as you don't want the wind to knock the ball down. So Engstrand with a really nice effort there to the 60-yard line, and ASIJ will take over 1st and 10 from there.
Yeah, deep in their own territory back there at the 16-yard line. So.
Nice strategy.
Yeah.
Worked out well.
Yeah, well, Engstrom on the kickoff and then on the punt kept it low both times, get it out of that wind.
The only thing I think you get concerned about is that going to hit somebody on the way across the line.
That's true.
Hey, you were asking me about Spirit. You know what? Just look. I mean, you guys just look down here. Look what's going on. Everybody's like
it is a party atmosphere out here tonight, and for those people who may be watching at home who haven't had the chance to come down here, we wish you would. I think you get a lot out of it. It's a really fantastic atmosphere. I set for ASIJ, 1st and 10 from the 16. Woods under center. That's to the second back through Lee, and he's met immediately, and Engstrand on the
just reads
play,
it so
and
well.
also Francisco, who...
Boy.
Yeah, no, Francisco's been doing a great job.
Yeah, where has he come from? I mean, we need to go introduce ourselves to his parents in case he needs an agent.
She's right down here somewhere. His mom was right down there.
I don't even remember calling his name in the last
No,
game.
the last couple of games he's not had much to do, but coming up large tonight, and that's often the way it is in high school sports. It's cyclical sometimes. Okay, so now we're going to be facing a bigger situation, 2nd down after that loss, and that's to Lee, and he's met out to the left-hand or right-hand side.
Look at him there again.
Yeah.
Francisco's there
Francisco
again.
and Engstrand. And Engstrand has probably had, as John and I were saying, 20 tackles easily tonight.
He's always there.
Yeah.
He's always there. Now he's got a buddy with.
We'll call him something else just to, like, kind of cross up the people watching it.
Remember the other day when we were talking about Jennifer Pines? We're calling her Killer Pines.
Killer Pines.
We're going to have to come up with another name for Engstrand.
Matt Engstrand, yeah. Well, I'll work on that this week, and we'll get...
I'll tell you, Kinnick's defense has done a real good job on Nathan Lee. He hadn't been able to turn the corner yet.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just the speed of Kinnick being able to get out wide on him.
Yeah, good pursuit by
Big
the Red
third
Devils.
down play for ASIJ as they're facing a 3rd down and 12, and there's a pass away and
intercepted.
intercepted, and a
Richard
huge
Ball.
Richard Ball on the ricochet. That pass was actually intended for the fullback, number 32, David Priestley, and it ricocheted off of him and got right to Richard Ball.
And he grabbed onto that thing. That was a quick reflexive action.
3 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and
1 block punt.
1 block punt. I mean, and actually 1 missed punt too.
Yeah.
Nothing going right on the evening for ASIJ. But Kinnick has to do something with this.
Yeah, they need to put this one
6-0
in.
with all the opportunities they have isn't going to
Look at
continue
this.
to work. Nice play.
What did he pick up? 5 yards right
5
there.
yards on the carry.
5 yards on the carry, brings up 2nd and 5.
But I think that crossed him up because I don't think anyone expected Ayers to get out there and do that. He hasn't really demonstrated that he would thus far tonight. So Soriano and Ball in with the play, and Kinnick is in a bit of a kind of hurry up type offense here. They're not playing around. Got a 4 wide out set, more of a pro type offense here. You would see Soriano, the single back set, Ponemeyer in motion as he comes across the field. Ball takes the snap. Ayers, and he's unable to pitch. He gets away from a tackle and still on his feet and still running downfield to the 15-yard line. And I can't believe that. It looked like he had nowhere to go. 2 men almost drug him to the. He just popped out like he was a kernel of popcorn and started running.
That's that fighting spirit he's got.
Well, and that's one of the things that we got to say. Dave Ornauer mentioned right after you and John had talked about the heart of the Kinnick High School Red Devils. Dave Ornauer came up and said the very same thing not 2 minutes later as soon as he got on the mic, saying that's what's dictating the tempo tonight. That's the reason why Kinnick's out in front.
Devil's spirit.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to measure here.
Yeah, I think that they probably need to. It's close enough. It's hard to tell from the booth there, but it's close enough that they got to get out there. And this is good for Kinnick. Anytime that they can stop the clock and let these kids rest, it's good. 4 wide out, Singstrom up the middle. He powers ahead for the 1st down. There's no doubt in my mind he got that. And that's exactly what I'd have done. No question in my mind what I'd have done.
That or
That'll
quarterback
be 1st
keeper,
down.
either one.
Yeah, that'll be a 1st down for Kinnick. Yeah, no question. And Dave Law just indicates for us that we have a 1st down. And that's going to be good for Kinnick as they're going to face 1st and 10 from about the 16, 17-yard line, it looks like.
Actually, it's going to be about the 13-yard line.
Oh, excuse me. John Leinert in on that call. 13-yard line. So they can get a 1st down. Ayers looking to the right-hand side. He breaks free, but still tackled. And that's going to go for no gain, it looks like. Maybe a gain of 1, possibly.
Hey, we're talking about anyone out there. Check with your command representative if you want tickets for Navy Ball. But if you don't have a command representative, you can always go to Information Tourism Ticketing, and they'll be happy to, help you out. So, if you don't have a command rep, there's a place to go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mentioned in the volleyball broadcast, but I'll mention it here as well. If you haven't been to a Navy Day Ball or a function at Thu Gym where we get it all dolled up, you cannot recognize the place. Ayers getting ready to take the snap, 2nd down. Looks to roll out to the left-hand side, trying to throw, sees no one downfield. He gets and reverses his field and still on his feet, running ahead, and he's up the middle, and he's powering ahead to about the 5. And he is ahead to about the 3-yard line and a possible 1st down.
Exciting football.
Can you say anything about Daniel Ayers' last 2 runs other than incredible?
He just won't go down.
Now look at this. You look right out to your right here. His dad's out there. He's loving every second of this. Very proud, of course, the way dads are supposed to be.
Well,
right?
I'll tell you, I'm the same way. And I want to just say this, that speaking of dads, I had the privilege of being at the change of command for the USS Mobile Bay today, and Captain Joe Volpe was relieved by Ed Rogers, and Captain Volpe had the chance to see his son, who just got his flight wings in Pensacola, come visit him, and it choked him up. He was almost going to cry. It was really emotional. I almost cried. Okay, first and goal from the 3-yard line for the Kinnick High School Red Devils, and that's going to go straight up the middle on a fumble, and that ball's on the field.
Oh,
And it looks like ASIJ came up with that ball. Yeah, they're calling that a touchback.
In the end zone.
And that's unfortunate for Kinnick, who's had several chances now deep in ASIJ territory, and we're going to wonder how that's going to come back to haunt them.
It's too bad that it's a touchback because they're going to get on the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice if it was at the 1-yard line.
And we've got a player down. Kinnick player. I can't tell who he is.
It's probably one of our heroes out there.
Oh, they're all our heroes.
Yeah, Engstrom never really got the handoff on that. He was bobbling that ball when he got hit. Knockers really help out, guys.
And that's who's down, Engstrom.
Yeah,
he's back out.
And he's been battling a bit of a sore shoulder and a lot of sore parts, actually. Matt has had several just kind of minor nagging injuries. It just
plays all out.
He's running off the field, so he's okay.
Yeah,
might have been a little Charlie horse or something.
Yeah, a little more.
They were working on his leg.
Probably his pride is hurt more than anything else, as he wanted that touchdown.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, we got ASIJ dodges another Kinnick bullet here, and Kinnick unable to come up with the score as they were deep into ASIJ territory, and that pass is that handoff is picked out right away by Daniel Ayers.
Who is that?
That's Mike Calhoun. Number 30.
And that was just a nice job there by the defense to just recognize what was coming.
And it was a really nice job because we only had 10 people on the field.
Yeah, I don't think anyone came in for Engstrom.
Nobody did. Yeah, they only had 10.
So we're doing it with 10 guys, huh?
Well, Matt's back out now, but
back to full.
Second down and 10 yards for the ASIJ Mustangs as they line up in the I formation. Woods is a quarterback. He looks to the end around and went nowhere as the player fell. That was number 13, Joe Understall, who was unable to get around, but in on that tackle looked like Matt Steins again.
Number 34 is right there. He had nowhere to go. And ASIJ is stuck in reverse.
Well, it's fortunate. That would be, it's good to see that they're getting stuck back there because we really used a lot of effort and everything to get down there, and then we gave the ball up.
Well, this is a big third down for ASIJ as they're battling a 3rd and 16. And we're going to get a timeout, and I don't know who called that. I didn't get to see the official.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Well, while we get the timeout, let's go back to the Navy ball because that's a very important event that's coming up. And it's coming up very soon. It's going to be on the 10th of October in the Thew Gymnasium. And as you said, they're going to deck that place out. It's going to be looking good.
It really is. I mean, it's hard to get an impression when you go in there and play basketball, as John Leinert does at lunchtime, that you could go have a ball in the place. But I've been there and I've seen it for myself, and it is just incredible, the transformation. To ensure seating with your command, we encourage you to purchase your tickets from your command representative. But if you cannot do that, just give 243-3198 a call, and that's not the number you want. I don't have it here.
No, that was for child care.
That's child care.
That's another
good point.
It is.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Child care.
Because they open the child care up. And because if you really want to go to an event and you have children, you want someone that's going to provide a good service and take care of them.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a friend or whether it's MWR.
John, how many years old is the Navy? Do you have any idea what birthday we're celebrating here?
202.
223.
Oh, well.
23.
You wouldn't have won at bingo, that's
years
for sure.
young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
223 years of naval history celebrated at the ball. ASIJ back on a big third down to their big nice play.
Who was that?
Richard Ball with his second interception of the evening as he's able to come up with a big interception for Kinnick, and that is now the 7th turnover for the ASIJ Mustangs.
And it's amazing. They only trail by 6.
They punted one time tonight and have not scored. The rest of the time, the ball has been deferred to Kinnick through a turnover. And that one, actually, he floated it up, and he had the wind with him. Had he got a little more on it, gone. for 6 points.
Yeah,
but
he underthrew that one.
Nice job by Richard Ball, who made a good job adjusting and coming back to the ball. And was doing a good job defending the receiver to begin with.
He was. Great
Single back set, Matt Engstrom back in, Mount Calhoun in motion.
Oh, fake
And that's
handoff.
going to be the option
Pitch
out
back.
to Calhoun. Calhoun, a big runner out to the right-hand side, comes up with a good gain of about 4 or 5 yards on the right-hand side.
As a quarterback from ASIJ that made that stop, Matt Woods.
Yeah, Matt Woods playing both sides of the ball, much like Lee, his running back. Here comes Soriano in the game with a slight hitch in his run.
Hey, the day after the Navy Ball, I want to go again. Monster Bingo.
Monster bingo.
31 chances to win, and that isn't it because there's door prizes and there's going to be extra games. You know it, as they do every time.
And if you buy 2 sets of tickets, then there's
double the chance to get
62 chances of winning.
$40,000 first prize.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I want that.
Ayers looking, and Calhoun dropped
That's the first one I've ever seen him drop.
Yeah.
That's the first
Calhoun
one.
just knew he was off to the races,
did.
and he started to run before he had the pass.
Absolutely.
And he was so wide open, it was unbelievable. And I think the coaches have noticed that their 4 wide receiver set, they've seen the DBs and the safeties drop off so much. You know, they just run out 5 yards and see what you can get. But wide open was Calhoun.
Calhoun usually.
Very sure-handed receiver.
Yes.
Very sure-handed.
And he's a little disappointed with something. You know what? He's going to try to make up for it, though.
Well, that's what we want, that spirit.
Got a guy out here wide open.
Bonnemeyer in motion. No one on.
2 men over
Yeah.
there. 21's wide open.
He's going.
And
He's going. He's going. He's going. He's going. He's got. Oh! Oh! He was just too wide open.
I mean, they had one guy out there covering 2. Wide open.
Dominic Cleary was so wide open, it was unbelievable.
And Ayers is hurt. He came off, limped off the field. He's got a bad, looks like a Charlie horse maybe.
Maybe cramping. It is
Yeah.
very humid tonight. And actually, the Kinnick offense has been on the field
a lot.
quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he has.
And Ayers playing both ways. It wouldn't surprise me if he has a cramp. But if it's more than that, we'll get back to you. Coach
Timeout.
wants a timeout, and that's probably not a bad move here because this is a good opportunity to get something done. Here is 2 chances that they've had now. I mean, really, Cleary was so wide open.
Yeah.
We should have just gone ahead and marked up the 6 points there. But that's what makes youth sports fun, is the unpredictability of it. I want to get back to this monster bingo here, Bob. Sunday, October 11th, and basically, this is $100,000 guaranteed.
That's right.
Okay?
Without a doubt.
Games will not be canceled for any reason.
Unless, like, there's, like, a typhoon that comes in and knocks away.
Well,
like,
they're
the
right,
gym.
but they say, you know, short of a natural disaster,
Right.
okay? I mean, but you basically got a level-through gym, okay? Doors open at 10 a.m. The first game starts at 1 p.m., okay? And it really doesn't matter where you sit.
Let's wave to the camera over here.
Oh,
There's the 3
well,
announcer
hello.
guys right in here.
That's good.
Kinnick fans right here. We're a little biased.
I'm glad to see that Marty is actually getting me when I'm dressed nicely.
Look at this. Look at this
One
guy. He's got a
time,
tie. He's got a tie on here and everything. Huh? Impressive.
okay.
All right.
During that timeout, number 82, and help me with this name, Rextini
Andrade.
He came off with a leg cramp also, came hopping off. They're working on 2 of them over there. Maybe these guys aren't drinking enough water during the game.
That'll be something that they'll have to point out to them. But
That's an excellent point, though.
Yeah.
right now we are facing a big 4th down
Before
here.
the game.
Calhoun is in at quarterback, and we have seen him do a good job in the past when he's come in. And he's got room to run if
But
he
he's going
wants.
to throw it.
And that's intercepted, picked off, but tackled at the goal line, at the 4-yard line, is the ASIJ interceptor, and that's number 13, Joe Unterstall, who comes up with that interception. But
If he had it to do again, he should not have intercepted that. Should have just dropped it.
I think actually also if Calhoun had to do it again, he'd have got
Should've
the
run.
5 yards
Should've
because he
run.
had nothing out to the
Oh, I know.
left-hand
Yeah.
side.
And he's a good runner. And the thing is, it was actually the way he was running. It was a well-thrown ball. It was it was right where it should have been, except an ASIJ player was right in front of Richard.
But, I mean, that works out to be a great punt.
Right.
Because it's 4th down play. That's better than probably the punt we would have gotten. So
Okay, one thing we want to bring out here on this Monster Bingo, players must be 10 years, people must be 10 years or older to enter or play, one or the other. Doesn't matter. You got to be at least 10 to get in through
The rest
gym.
of them are on child care.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's going to be a handoff, and that's a nice run up the middle, and still with room to run out to the 16-yard line.
Nice job.
Is Lee, as he's able to break through Nathan Lee, probably his best carry of the night.
Absolutely. First time he'd been able to break one. Gets it out of the shadow of the goalpost there for ASIJ.
ASIJ hanging tough, and Kinnick has been playing hard. You know they got to be tired.
Absolutely.
And this is where the heart really steps into play here.
This is big. I mean, we're looking at late in the game, people getting tired, and a much more physical team on the side of ASIJ. With 2 minutes left in the third period of play, first down and 10. That's a quarterback keep. As Wood tries to get ahead, but only a gain of about 3. That was a good job by Kinnick to just read that there was something different going on there.
Engstrom just stood him up.
Yeah, Engstrom is right there, number 60. Phil Fitzpatrick right there.
Oh,
So-
yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Phil's pretty strong boy
Yeah.
too, and he's
Another wrestler, that's right.
Another
That's
wrestler.
right, another wrestler.
And a very good wrestler, by the way.
Football and wrestling kind of go hand in hand.
They
That's
do.
right.
I'm
They
serious.
do. Physical strength, a lot of agility there. There's no question about it. And you see Soriano trying to shake off his previous cramp or whatever he had. So players trying to work it off on the sideline. Actually, that's not Soriano. That's number 82.
82 had a
Rick Steeny-Andrade, who's done a good job today. And there's Engstrom in on another tackle, and
Yeah.
number 60 in there as well. And
number
that's
40.
Brad Warner. And they stood him up, Engstrom and Warner, and it looked like Fritz came in and finished him off.
Yeah, Engstrom was in there on the handoff. Playing an outstanding game tonight.
Yeah. So going to bring up another third down, approximately 7 yards, maybe 6 yards for the ASIJ Mustangs, who are facing a big test here as with just seconds remaining in the third period. Stale trail 6-0, and hey, maybe my prediction will come true and 6-0 will hold up.
It may hold up.
It may.
It shouldn't, really. We should have seen a couple of scores by Kinnick here thus far, but one never knows. And a pass by Woods, and he's met and
Yes,
sacked.
yes.
And a first sack of the night on Woods as he's brought down by about every
65,
offensive lineman
Francisco
we
in
had.
there.
Francisco is in there, also number 82, Andre, or 62.
62.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Elmore, Anthony Elmore. And,
Engstrom,
of
of
course,
course.
Engstrom,
Oh,
which,
that's a given.
sound like a broken record here.
Yeah,
One thing we are seeing different, deep back to receive this punt, is going to be Gerald Soriano instead of Ayers, who was receiving it earlier. End of the third period of play, 6-0 Kinnick High School Red Devils over the ASIJ Mustangs. And just an incredible battle on our hands as a defensive
This is a
struggle
great game.
is
I guess
going
the
on.
only way we could make it more exciting, it's still exciting even with this score, but to make it more exciting, if we had a little bit more scoring, then, it'd give us a little bit more
I don't
to talk
know.
about up here.
This has been the most exciting 6-0 game I've ever seen, with 7 turnovers by the ASIJ Mustangs, and then Kinnick having 2 good chances to score, dropping a touchdown, and then also a fumble at the goal line.
And nobody's going home. None of the Devils are going home.
Nobody's going
Red
home,
Devil
and
fans,
nor
I mean.
should they, because this game's not over by any stretch. But one thing we do want to say here is that a very, very poor decision, I think, by ASIJ not to call a timeout to punt this ball, as they are now kicking into a very stiff wind, left to right.
That's a good point.
And that snap is high, too, and almost blocked.
Almost blocked.
Kick, though.
And that's Soriano is going to let that one just die, because the field position will be marvelous no matter what. 48-yard line, yes, simply marvelous for the Kinnick. So at the 49, first and 10 for Kinnick High School Red Devils, as they'll get their first series of downs in the fourth quarter, leading 6-0. ASIJ Mustangs unable to get anything on the board as 7 turnovers have hampered their chances tonight. And, John, what do you look for here in this series of downs? What can we do to get the ball moving? I think we've done everything right so far.
Well, it'd be nice to have a nice long drive culminating in a touchdown. Ayers is still on the sideline, but he is up moving around, looks okay. I think we'll see him back in there before too long.
He deserves a rest.
I think 6 more points is, if Kinnick can do it, is going to win the game. I just don't see, with the way the defenses are playing, anyone putting up 2 touchdowns in a period. But Calhoun at quarterback again. Hands to the second back through. That's Soriano. Soriano gets a yard to the 50-yard line, but did a good job holding on to the ball.
Yeah.
Many of the ASIJ players trying to pull that out, and I think that's what they're looking for right now to get themselves back in the game, is a turnover on their behalf. And really a reversal of fortunes. If you recall last game, Kinnick had 5 turnovers of their own, and here today we're seeing the same thing on the side of ASIJ.
And Ayers is back in at quarterback.
And that's probably good, because I like Matt Calhoun, but I like to see him with the ball in his hands doing something.
It gives
with
you one more, premier player in there.
And they're having to take a timeout. A little confusion on who's supposed to be in the game there.
And that's good. We don't want a penalty at this point in time. You're in good field position. You got a chance to do something here.
Yeah. And as well as Kinnick's playing, what's scary is one big play.
Oh, yes.
One big play by ASIJ.
Interception.
They've had
kickoff.
that play.
Yeah.
That passing play that they've almost broken like about 3 times.
That's right. I mean, we've dominated the game, but one play could turn it around here. So we need to take
And
this
Fred
in.
Young knows that.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Young knows that. So he's going to be looking for something. But we need to hang tough.
Well, I think it's been a good effort so far by Kinnick. I don't think that there's many things that they could do to improve it, because if you really look at it, it's been the dropped pass. It's been the, fumble at the goal line, or this game could easily have gotten out of hand in favor of Kinnick off the turnovers.
That's right.
And really, Fred Young, really should be just thanking God that he's in the game at all.
Yeah, we should be up at least 18 to 21 to nothing right now.
Right, exactly.
Hey, John, have you been up to Club Tacaman recently?
No, actually, I haven't recently, but it is a good club. I used to eat there all the time, and I will start eting there again.
John and I are going to go up and go around to all these clubs and sample food and give us,
Actually, I thought about doing the, top 10 places to get certain food list. I'll tell you, I told you this before, the best breakfast on the base, bowling alley. Trust me on that.
You heard it here on Steve.
Is that the country breakfast?
And that's a lateral, actually, but it gets good.
Richard Ball
makes some room out to the left-hand side to the 37-yard line, and he looked like he knew what the program was. He was chucking and jiving. And
that's a good run by Richard.
Yeah, Richard doing a good job, and maybe we need to look Richard's way a little more often here, as that was a nicely designed play. But it wasn't a pass, actually. Lateral, went backwards.
Richard's been very dependable all year long.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just a really heady kid and a good kid, the kind of kid you like to have on any sports team.
Right.
Okay, so we got a first down and 10 for Kinnick, threatening again, deep in ASIJ territory. Ayers is trying to change the play. Gets him under center, single back set.
I think we're short a player again.
Yeah, looks like we are, and they're telling him to do it. And he throws the ball up.
That was a great job by number 7 of the ASIJ.
That's Woods.
Almost
Woods able to come up and break it up. But actually, it was lucky Woods didn't pick it up, because Calhoun, that ball drifted just a bit. But it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. But, yeah, we were light a player as 2 come off and 3 come in. You know, you're light one.
Yeah, Calhoun, he would have had that ball hadn't number 7 come in there and knock that down. Great
we
play.
need one more again here. There they go, finally getting, it looks like...
Hey, well, we can do it with 10.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
done it a couple times today.
We've got that much spirit, we can do it.
Ariel Zamora coming in for the last minute to even the challenge here. He goes out to the right-hand side with Ponemeyer out to the left, Calhoun and ball. Calhoun in motion, Angstrom the single back set. The pitch to him is he's got an opening and he runs through it. He's up to the 37 where he's brought down. So he picks up about a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Nicely designed play. Looked like it was going to open up for more than it did. But,
And, number 52 made a good play for
really
ASIJ.
shed a block and got down on the ground and picked up the feet of Angstrom.
This is going to be a long 10 minutes and 23 seconds for the Devils, because you can see these guys coming off the field. You see them huffing and puffing.
They're winded, but they're putting everything they have on the field.
They are.
And with a big 3rd down play here for the Kinnick High School Red Devils, they're going to send 4 out to the right-hand side.
Trick play here.
Again.
And they call a timeout. Calhoun saw that there was a problem and did the right thing and said, hey, why do we have 4 players standing in the same spot?
Well, again, I think they only had 10 on the field, but that was going to be some sort of trick play. It was an overload.
Actually, I saw a game with the Colorado State, and they were playing Michigan State, and they overloaded the right-hand side, and it was a quarterback sneak. And the guy went forever.
Oh.
He went forever. I couldn't
Maybe
believe it.
I think that's what they were going to do.
No.
Yeah, that's probably what they want.
I wouldn't suggest it. I just don't see the merit in it. It worked for them, but I mean, who would have guessed, you know?
Well, Ayers made a great one earlier.
Ayers had a great run off to the left-hand side, several good runs up there at the other end of the field, but that's not who you want to be your primary carrier for yardage as your quarterback if you can open. So with this timeout, we'll try and get back to you with some other events coming up. We have Nagishi's Navy Day Ball October the 17th at 6 p.m. at the Nagishi All Hands Club. And believe it or not, their Navy Ball is the same as ours. It's 223rd. Do you believe that?
That's right.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it is a coincidence, isn't it? But, you know, they do a great job, too. I had some great feedback last year about their Navy Day Ball.
Okay, so we're going to get a third down from the shotgun formations. Trips left on this play. Soriano in to block, and they are throwing out to his side, and he's got a little bit of room as he picks up some room and some blocking.
Whoa.
And met hard at the 34-yard line and driven back to the 35, number 84.
Yeah, that's Kyle
and,
Bennis.
That's Kyle Bennis, and he did a great job of stacking up Gerald. Of course, he's about the biggest player on the field, too.
Well, he's probably twice as tall as Gerald.
Oh, he is.
You know that you were talking about Club Takamiya?
Yes.
You know one of my favorite things to do in Yokosuka, my favorite, like, go gorge yourself, which I like to do, is Mongolian barbecue night. And if you're interested, Sunday at 5 p.m., come out and join it in Akego, because that is one good feed.
You know what? They do that over the CPO club. They do it
Everywhere, every club.
Every club, and it's a hit at every single one.
Single back set, Calhoun in motion, two wideouts to the right-hand side. And looks like maybe a delay of game as we had no time left on the clock. And that's the kind of thing that's going to hurt you here. You don't even want to give up 1 yard at this point in the game. But with 9 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock, Kinnick with a 6-0 lead, they got to be hoping for a first down here, if nothing else, but to take some time off the clock.
Yeah, they were going for it on 4th and about 6. Now it's going to be 4th and about 11.
And they do have the wind at their back, so I think they'll probably choose to have Engström put this thing deep in the end and have the defense try and come up one more time. And that's exactly what we're seeing the formation do here. And back deep is Lee, it looks like. I
think he's going to kick
Nathan
it a little bit
Lee.
to his right side.
Well, he'd be doing himself a favor if he didn't kick it to Lee at all.
Nice, good job.
That was
good
a nice
job.
finesse.
That's a beautiful kick, and actually Lee is
Got into
just
the end
trickles
zone.
into the end zone. It looked like the Kinnick players were hesitant to get over there and down it at the 10 when they could have, but it took a bad bounce and rolled all the way into the end zone, so it'll be out to the 20-yard line.
That was a beautiful kick.
Yeah, Engström did everything right. Ball just happened to hit wrong and roll. It hit about the 20. On about the 20. And,
it rolled 20 yards.
And then rolled 20 yards in.
ASIJ, with their work cut out for him, unable to put any points on the board thus far in the game with 8 minutes and 59 seconds in the game against the tough Kinnick defense. Going to try and bring it against the wind. And this is really going to be paramount for Kinnick defense to step up here and try and get a stop on ASIJ.
This is the one. This is the series.
This is the series of the game for sure. If Kinnick can stop them here, I think we're in great shape. But hands off, and that play is going to probably be blown as illegal procedure. The intent was for Priestley to get the ball, and he was sacked for a loss. So it was good that it was almost too bad the play didn't stand up. Yeah, they had actually someone moving a little early there and on the right-hand side, and I think that was to try and help give Priestley a block. But when you see that your running backs aren't able to get any yardage, you're oftentimes as an offensive lineman in a kind of a hurry to try and get on that defensive player and get something done.
And you know, ASIJ's running backs just have not shown the speed to get outside tonight. So
not at all.
You know, we've really contained them well. They haven't had a sustained drive the whole game.
And there's a timeout for ASIJ. There's some confusion again on 1st and 15 for them. And actually, I'm not too upset to see them start using some of their timeouts too, because that's less they have at the end of the game. Because with a 6-0 lead, John, there's really no mistakes that you can have here.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, let's talk about something with MWR coming up big.
How about coming up really big for the single service members? Got September 26th, which is tomorrow, so this would be a moot point. Paintball, but you can always go do that.
No, they have that like
every
almost
week,
every month or something.
Almost
like that.
every week, Claude goes up there and like watches them blast each other with paint.
It's fun though. I mean,
Yeah,
they're having a
I
good
would like
time.
to do it. I would like to do it, but my mom had told me that I'd shoot my eye out as a kid. Tama Hills Horseback Riding Tour, October the 4th for the single service. And hey, people don't think you can do that in Japan. You can even ride horses here. You want to be John Wayne in Japan?
Miniature golf.
October 4th, your day. Sea Paradise by Ferry Tour. And again, October 10th, Tama Hills Paintball. So single service people, if you're not having fun, it's not MWR's fault. Got to get out there and go to some of these things. Pool tournament at the Cove Bar in the CPO Club, 7 p.m. on October 9th and 23rd. And they've got some nice tables over there. So if you're interested in playing pool, CPO Club, 9th and 23rd. Okay, so we see single back set for the first, no, excuse me, we got two back set there for the offset formation for the ASIJ Mustangs, two wide outs, 1st and 15. Woods puts him set, takes the snap, looks out to the left-hand side, has a man overthrown.
Oh.
Yeah, threw behind him.
Richard Ball was looking to go back a little bit, but he just couldn't get there, could he?
Yeah, that pass intended for Kyle Bennis again, and Bennis was a big target with a great reception early in the game, and they haven't gone back to him much, and they've tried to the last few games, one resulting in an interception by Ball, and that one well overthrown. So it makes you wonder if Woods himself playing both ways isn't getting tired.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yes, that's got to be a factor.
Not a clean uniform on the ASIJ Mustangs here. They've shown their mettle tonight. Kinnick sets up for a 2nd and 15. Formation is spread wide. To the back, looks like Nathan Lee met immediately, and in on that tinkle is Engstrand, and it looks like 62.
62, yeah, Anthony Elmore. And
nice job by them as the gain was minimal, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12. And this has been ASIJ's problem all night, 3rd and long. They have had to throw the ball or run some kind of trick play almost all night to get anywhere. And the thing about it is, Kinnick has been up to the task, and one of these times you're just hoping the dam doesn't break.
Right.
And the thing is that it very well could. So let's be a little cautious out here, guys. Hang tough.
Well, we're knocking on wood here. Fortunately, we have some. Back to pass is Wood looking out to the right-hand side, and there's a nice rush, and he's sacked for the 2nd time of the night.
No, he's still there.
He was still on his feet, but he goes down for a sack with a 2-yard loss on the play, and on that ankle. And that looks like Engstrand and Steins, and also Calhoun in on that tackle. Matt Steins has had a couple of key tackles. We haven't called his name a lot, but when we have, it's been very important.
Big.
3rd down and something. So it's a 4th down. There's no question that ASIJ will be getting rid of the ball into the wind, which should bring Ayers up a little bit and should give Kinnick some great field position.
Yeah, they should
here.
come out of this with great field position.
Whether we return it or not.
Yeah, we might be well suited just to let that
Look at. There's a problem. Oh!
A huge block into the end zone and picked up for a touchdown. Kinnick High School Red Devils. Errol's Amoria on the recovery. And he picks up the ball, actually lands on a block punt, and another mistake by ASIJ
Pressure has been there all night long.
And that ball was on the ground. It's not the punter's fault. He hasn't had a good snap all night long. And that is just an excellent example of finally taking advantage of a miscue by ASIJ.
That's right.
We couldn't have scripted
pursuit.
it better. Could not have scripted it better because we know we needed that 6 points.
We did.
And it really gives them some breathing room. And they're going to go for 2 points here, obviously.
You know what? They deserve every single point that they have.
Well, Kinnick has fought very hard tonight. I think that a lot of people were wondering how they'd react after the loss, and they've come out and shown that they are truly champions. They deserve that 3 in a row. And that's going to be a false start. It looks like the back moved early. And that's actually to Kinnick's benefit because it was going nowhere. Yeah. So false start there. That play's blown dead. They're going to get another chance from 5 yards deep. But, John, just what we were talking about most of the game where, we needed to see them take advantage of something.
And they finally did, and it's going to give them a 12-point lead at least, hopefully 14. That should do it. The way ASIJ has not been moving the ball, that should.
Right. Based on
Keyword there is should.
should. Right. That's a very key word.
Well, there's 7 minutes and 12 seconds for those of you who may be watching at home. And if you've been watching the game, the Kinnick defense is the story of the game tonight, as they've been able to hold ASIJ, a team that scored 26
illegal
points.
procedure again.
Oh.
Yeah, same problem.
So we're going to go back again, and we're trying to make it a little bit more challenging.
Try to make it a little bit
Yeah.
more challenging.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're going to get to the point where we could just like drop kick the thing here soon. So, but it's just been a good effort by the Kinnick defense. They've basically come into the game knowing that ASIJ put 26 points up on the board against the Good Zama team last week, and nothing tonight.
Plenty of
Ayers
time.
has got time.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Calhoun, 2
yeah.
points. That's the 2-point conversion.
Come on now.
Wide open.
Calhoun.
Matt Calhoun, give it up to him.
Mike.
Mike Calhoun, give it up to him all day long. He's been battling and comes up with a huge
That was-
2-point conversion. And I think, like John says, that there seals the deal. Just
That was
pretty much.
smooth. That was so smooth.
It was. It took a long time to develop, though. I could have knit a blanket in the time it took to
Well,
develop.
that play's designed
Yeah,
for
he
a
rolled out.
3-yard line.
Yeah, he rolled
for an
out.
extra point.
He
yeah.
rolled out. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. But
Yeah.
that was a long throw and a good effort there. Is Ayers right on the money to Calhoun.
Oh, he was. Right on the money.
in
And
the
Calhoun was
breadbasket.
right there and very sure-handed that time.
Yeah, we weren't going to see him drop 2. I've never seen him drop 2 in a row.
No,
And,
no.
The truth of the matter, there's been some refinement on that play, but Barney put that play in about 5 years ago.
Was that right?
Yeah, back when I was the head coach of the football team, that play was put in. That was
Did we happen to mention the names of all the coaches down there?
I don't think we have.
Well, I think
we've
it's
got
about
to.
time we...
Go
Huh?
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, let's call those guys off right now. Barney Rio, down there, offensive coordinator. Mike Murphy, defensive coordinator. Way to go, Mike Murphy.
Yeah.
Richard Warner, special teams, and Robert Stovall.
And a fumble on that play. The ball's on the ground at the 25-yard line, and down there, as unable to come up with it, was ASIJ, and that looked like Nathan Lee fumbled it, and fortunately for him, Priestley fell on the ball. And did we get to...
I think we did. We got through everybody. Robert Stovall,
Got
Richard
Robert
Warner,
Stovall,
Mike
okay.
Murphy, and Barney Rio. And you got to really say their names at least once a game, guys, because you know why? They do a fine job down there, and they've been doing it for years. Way to stick to it.
And you look at the back of the shirt, it says 3-peat on it.
That's
so
right.
Obviously,
down
they've
there,
been-
You're right. And two ladies down there that are always down there, Mrs. Calhoun and Mrs. Pontemeyer, that are always helping out down there.
Well, there's a lot of
Mrs.
people
Mrs.
that
Ayers.
help out here.
Mrs. Ayers always down there.
Okay,
cheering on
Woods
you
to
guys.
throw is ASIJ, and their first play, and that's going to be a sack for a loss of about 4 yards. And then on that stop was 40. That would be Jared Fritz, and he did a great job. And there's another one like Steins where we've called his names when he's made, big plays. But Kinnick defense, they've all made big plays, it
They all
seems like.
have.
It doesn't seem like
Yeah.
there's one person that we haven't been able to, focus on their number tonight. And, with 7 turnovers, enough said. Kinnick's got to be leading the Kanto plane in interceptions now, though. 3 tonight and 3 in the first game against Yokota. Woods to take the snap. Gets him set in the offset formation, drops back, looks to pass, has it complete and dropped, actually. And so number 13, Joe Undersaw, unable to come up with the reception. Looked like Engstrand again over there.
Well, I do know one thing. It's going to be a long ride back for ASIJ tonight.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and it's
Those
going to
bus
be
trips are-
a long night of sleep for Matt Engstrand, who
Not going to be a long night.
is
for the whole defensive
is
team.
my
out
player
there.
of the day today for sure.
I'm going to volleyball tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I see Coach Farrington down there. He's saying goodbye to everyone because he's going to get some rest because we're going to be up early in the morning. And he told me not to be late.
You're going to film that game, huh?
Yeah, we're going to be filming
Good.
down there at St. Moore's.
St. Maur's, 2 games tomorrow. We wish our Lady Red Devil volleyball players the best of luck in that endeavor. They're trying to maintain an undefeated season thus far in the early Kanto Plain season. That's a 4th down, and makes you wonder at what time ASIJ is going to try and go for it, because with 5:44 left on the clock, time is not their ally.
They might as well go for it. Their punting game has been terrible tonight.
Right. Well, they're going to punt.
Yeah. Keep working until they get it right, I guess.
Keep in mind, Kinnick's got to go back up to ASIJ.
That's true. That's true. And you know what?
That ball's
Fred will have
away,
him ready.
and it looks like Ayers is going to pick that up, try and get to the 40,
Oh,
to
look
the
at this.
35, to
That's
the
a block.
30,
Look at this.
down to the
Look
25,
at this.
cuts into the 20,
Look
to
at
the
this.
15, down to the 10-yard line at the 10, or
Oh.
about the 14-yard line. He's drugged down, and, well, I don't know what else could go wrong except a 40-yard punt return.
Effort.
He actually brought the ball back to where the punter kicked from, is how that ended up.
So in hindsight, they should have gone for it.
They should have gone for it, I suppose, but I think they're going to concede defeat here. I guarantee you that Kinnick is going to try and run this thing down their throat and get some time off the clock. And ball comes back off the field. Let's count the numbers again. Okay, he did the right thing. In the I formation, yeah, we're going to get to a little bit different set here as they're going to try and do a little bit more run here. Ayers to the second back through, which is Soriano, who's got some room to the left side.
Oh.
Closes up quickly as Nathan Lee
Yeah.
brings him down. And Soriano not able to get off the ball too much tonight. The offense at Kinnick not able to get much of a run game together, but the passing attack has been spectacular.
Yeah, they've had their most success through the air, and then, of course, we had a couple of drop passes that hurt that a little bit. But I like to see them pass.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to open up the run for them, make the other team concentrate a little bit more on other things on defense.
There again, we almost had an extra person on the field. And you think that Coach Stovall is going to probably concentrate on that this week because that's happened quite a few times tonight.
Look at this.
Look,
Look at
Soriano right through the middle of the gut of the ASIJ
Quick.
players, which are getting tired. Very quick player and a gain of about 7 yards on that play.
And he was really low to the ground. I see him almost bent over in half.
Well, that's the problem with him, not only in football but basketball and many sports, is that he's very deceiving. He's quick and he's a very small player, hard to get a grip on.
Actually, that last one where he gets stopped, there's someone that just happened to be. He took a quick maneuver to one way and then it ran right into someone.
High formation again, second back through
Oh.
Soriano. He's stacked up for a
nothing
loss
there.
on the play. That's going to bring fourth down and 5 yards up. And Kinnick
go
doesn't
for it.
really care at this point in
Right,
time. What
right.
they want is the clock to wind down and not get anybody hurt.
Well, that's a good time to practice your field goal.
Yeah, there you go. I don't even know if we have a field goal.
You know what? I'd let
We might
Matt
not.
Ekstrom. I'd let Matt do anything. I mean, as far as kicking.
Yeah,
I mean, look at
I know,
come
I
on.
would too,
Look
but-
at him kick. He kicks anything
Yeah.
good so far.
We've had many chances to do that, even when we were at Yokota several times to try it with the big lead, and we still didn't do it, so we just may have just given up on that. And he's got it away, but that's far out of reach. It looks like it was intended for Richard Ball, but unable to come up with the reception. That's going to turn the ball over to ASIJ with just under 3 minutes left in the game. And Kinnick High School Red Devils with the 14-0 lead.
Yeah, I don't think even if they march down the field.
They'd have to score in a quick strike.
Okay, and we've just been blessed with the principal of Kinnick High School, who we had on volleyball last week, who came by to tell us again, if you are a teacher and you have any credentials in that area, need to have you.
That's right. They need you.
Mucho employment at Kinnick for teachers.
That's right. You got to be certified, though, as she stated. So, if you're interested, just go over and see the principal, Ms. Ballinger, or call 243-7293. Is that what it is? 729. Whatever.
Just go to Kinnick
Just
High
go to
School.
Don't even
Don't
worry
call.
about the number. Just go
call.
get your job.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, yeah, go get your job.
You know. Okay, wishbone formation. Drops back, throws on the slant. Nice reception by Joe Unnerstall. A little too late. But Unnerstall, I think that's actually the first one he's caught.
Well, that was incomplete, actually. They ruled it incomplete.
Incomplete. He must not have come down with it.
Must have dropped it.
They're going to stop the clock here in the incomplete pass. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 10 yards to go. .237 they want to put back on the clock as it was an incomplete pass, but it was a little bit late in getting to the booth because it looked to everybody like it was. Some confusion there. Not that 30 seconds is going to help the ASIJ Mustangs too much. 3rd down and 10. Woods looking to throw, looking deep downfield. Almost picked off. That was Daniel Ayers trying to come up with his 2nd interception of the day. He had a beautiful interception there in the 2nd quarter where he was turned around.
And the flags are all over the place here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of penalties. But,
one in the backfield and one up there where the interception almost occurred.
I don't think they can possibly call interference on them.
I wouldn't think so, but
just never know. But I don't even think the thing was catchable if the guy could have, if he wasn't touched. So, but they'll talk it out. The officials will sort it out. That'll give us a chance to talk about a couple more things. Dart tournament, October 1st in the Club A Country Bar, 8 p.m. You play darts?
Well, I have played darts. I don't play a lot of darts, but I have in the past. My brother was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. But, I mean, darts isn't for everybody, but if it's for you, that's where to go.
I couldn't hit that wall.
You couldn't?
No.
I could probably hit the wall.
I don't know
I'm pretty
anything
sure I
about
could hit the wall.
Yeah.
That was a 15-yard penalty.
Whatever it was severe.
Roughing the passer, I believe.
There's so many things to do if you really look for things to do. Hey, you want free country dance lessons?
Sure.
Just go over to the A Club.
I don't think you want to see me country dance.
They even got couples country dances.
Okay, that's going to be a 1st and 10, one of the rare ones for ASIJ, and it had to come on a 1st down. And incomplete pass there. That was intended for Mano Masisi. Mano Masisi unable to come up with that. Closer to Richard Ball, actually, who wouldn't minded having another interception.
Yeah, he'd love to get another one.
So we're in good spirits here in the booth tonight as Kinnick High School Red Devils look like they're going to come out victorious here with a 14-0 lead. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the quarter.
This will move them up 2-0 in the league play, 2-1 overall.
2-0 in the league is what's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
We don't need to. We're going to play Misawa again in the fall. It's going to be frigid. I'm going to be up there with Bob shaking like a dog.
You know what I got to do? I'm going to have to make copies of this particular game, so any of the ships that are out, I'm going to be sending them a copy of this game.
As I was walking down the sideline, both Admiral Keating and Captain Samar stopped me and said, "Don't forget about those tapes."
Oh, right. That's right. Don't forget about those tapes. So
I'm telling you, Bob, don't forget about those tapes. And actually, it's good to see the community come out and support this because the new CEO of the Ed Rogers of the Mobile Bay was out here today too, and he doesn't have any kids out here. I mean, he's just out here because he likes football, and you see a lot of guys like that just like football.
I've seen a lot of the police sailors just out here on the sidelines cheering. I mean, they like seeing football. They enjoy it.
And this is really exciting. I mean, it's really meaningful to the kids. I remember when I played high school football, it was everything. I mean, Friday night was everything in the fall. So.
And let's see, one of the ships are...
I should take that back. Actually, girls were everything, but Friday night football season was damn close. So. I want to clarify that. Okay, ASIJ facing a 2nd down and 10 here. And they're pretty much in the same formation they've been all night. That's one of the things that maybe they may look at doing is trying to mix that up a little bit. Woods falls down, the ball's on the ground, and it's picked up.
Oh, look at that. Who got him?
Number 62, David Kibler, picked it up, but
Mike Calhoun was in there.
Calhoun stopped him, and also Steins, it looked like, 34.
Number 24.
That'd be Ariel Zamora. And somebody's hurt, and that's Engstrom again. And,
took his helmet off,
It makes you wonder how much this guy's going to take. Now, he may have got a finger in the eye or something like that. You just don't know. Looks like it. He's rubbing an eye.
Yeah, he's got to be exhausted. They ought to just go ahead and take him out.
Yeah, I
of the
think
game.
that
2
they
minutes
don't.
left.
Right, they don't run too much risk of losing at this point. And if there's somebody that deserves the break, it's my player of the game, and probably John's as well, Matt Engstrom. And actually, we could give it up to the whole defense, who has failed to yield a point tonight against a very powerful ASIJ Mustang team, again, who put up 26 points against Zama. And
everybody's giving Matt a hand out there.
Well, Matt definitely gets the dirtiest uniform on the field award tonight.
You know, Daniel Ayers has had a great game tonight.
No,
yes,
he
he
has
has.
had a tremendous
Yes,
game,
he has.
offensively and defensively.
Yes, he has, and with a big pick there, as that looked like ASIJ was moving towards the Kinnick end in the second quarter. So yeah, he definitely gets some credit there. So third down, and that goes off to
Three
Lee.
Devils right
Nathan
there.
Lee with probably his best carry of the night, and
65 in there, 62. Who else was over there, John? Did you notice?
No, I didn't know. I was checking to see how close he was to the first down, but he's
one of the things
good
that
6 yards.
Dave was saying that's surprising him is that we've held Nathan Lee in check tonight, because I guess he had one whale of a game against Zama.
Against Zama, he did, yes.
So we're Kinnick defense really setting the trend tonight, and I think that word's going to get out, because they did a good job against.
Best kick of the night.
It's a good kick, but unfortunately it comes into the wind.
Came down on Gerald's head.
Yeah.
Good thing it didn't touch him.
So with a minute and 4 seconds left, Kinnick will get one more shot on offense, and I
hope they just take the knee.
They'll run the clock out.
Yeah, just take a knee, run the clock out.
Yep, it'll be good to see that. Be good to see Kinnick come away. And one of the things that you got to give credit to in the defense is it's just not this game. It was the last game. Granted, they gave up 2 scores quick, but then after that, basically Kinnick won the last 3 quarters of the game and yielded no points to defense, and yielded none at Yokota.
We were saying the same thing about
against Yokota.
Saying the same thing about the defense during the first game.
So in 3 games, defense has actually only given up 13 points.
Right, and that is just phenomenal to be able to say that.
Yeah.
And Soriano's going to get the carry.
Whoa.
A little loose with that ball.
Oh, yeah, a little
there.
loose with that ball.
You know, but at this point it wouldn't matter. But I think they want to preserve the shutout for sure. And that's going to let the clock run, and I don't think anyone's going to try and stop it.
Just take a knee, guys. Let's not
seconds.
get anybody hurt here.
Right, exactly.
Take a knee, get this game over with.
But, you know, sometimes the kids don't really want to. They just want to go all out.
Right,
You know,
and it wouldn't surprise me if Coach Stovall told him to do that, and Soriano still wanted to run it for a touchdown. You know how Gerald was in basketball last year. He was like, got 2 speeds, off and 100 miles an hour. Ayers hands off to Soriano. Soriano tries to shake free up to the 50-yard line, still going.
Yeah.
And turned around back to the 50-yard line. And with 10 seconds left, that's all we're going to see tonight is the Kinnick High School Red Devils come away with a beautiful 14-zip victory over the ASIJ Mustangs, bring their Kanto Plain record to 2-0 and their season record to 2-1, and a great victory, Bob.
It was a great victory, both sides of the ball, but you got it really, the defense is really what did it. You see there's a big 0 over there. They did a great job.
And that's what Kinnick's been known for, is their great defensive play for the last couple of years, and it's continuing with a squad that is small compared to what they've had the last few years, but playing just as good on the defensive side as always.
Well, you know, Mike Murphy takes great pride in his defensive players, and he's helped build a good program.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, ASIJ, want to give them credit, came in and put up a pretty decent battle here. A lot of turnovers, really key to their loss tonight. And one thing that Kinnick needs to do is definitely keep sight of the fact that all those turnovers did limit their possibilities and not get too confident when we play them at their home field.
Oh, it's going to be a tough game up at ASIJ. It always is.
It always is. And
is.
you know what? Fred's going to be taking a lot of notes.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be making some
yeah, he'll make some
Sure.
adjustments. There's no doubt about that. And I think our next game's against Zama, is it not?
I believe so.
I believe
Friday
it's Camp
night.
Zama at Camp
At
Zama.
Camp Zama.
And Bob and I will be up there for that. Are you going to go up there for that?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be there for that.
That'll be beautiful.
So then
So,
we can have like a little reunion up there.
yeah, that'd be good. So for
As I recall, though, we have to call it from the Zama fan side in the stands.
Right.
right.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
so
That's going to be a good game at Zama.
It is.
It's going to be they're going to be tough.
And actually, Dave Ornauer was saying that too. He couldn't believe he thinks it's a lot of parity in the league, and we're going to find out next Friday. But for now, Rob Riegel for Bob Long and John Leinert, and this is a CFA7 broadcast, a division of your MWR. Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good
John.
night.
Hey, good night, Marty.
All right. Okay, I will. Yeah. I already got those.
What? Carmi!
Hi, we're the Spice Girls. I'm Power. Girl Power. I'm Mel B. She's Mel B.
got it?
Yeah.
All right.
It has a little thing on
All
the
right, now
phone.
press it on, press it off again. You're on.
All right, well, hold on, I'll go first. I want to give a shout out to my boy Reggie at home. I'm on TV. Hey, I just want to say you're watching this on Tuesday 7, and this guy didn't pay me. I'm Jake Snow.
Hey, Matt, tell me, what'd you think about the game?
Oh, they were a tough team. We tried and we tried, and they never gave up.
They sure didn't, but I'll tell you what, you seem to work really hard.
I try.
You always try, don't you?
Team try.
Give it to, well, the team does. Always giving 100%. Great game, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah? Okay, now, this was a great game for you guys, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
What was the key? What was the key?
Defense was.
Defense is the key. What are you going to? You're going to give it up to him? All right, Mike Murphy. You're the defensive coordinator here. Tell me, why was this a successful game for you guys?
We made an adjustment on our defense, went to a 5-2 instead of a 4-4 that we've been playing for the last 2 years. The kids stepped up. Our in-state home, our linebackers blitzed, and everything worked out well.
It sure did work out well. As a matter of fact, you had a big 0 up
I
there.
think this is the beginning of what we have the potential of doing.
Well, there was a lot of heart out there, wasn't there?
I look for number 8 to go in here at the end of the season.
Oh, is that right? So you're going to have a, what, 4-peat over there? You look pretty happy.
It was a good night.
It was a good night. Your boys did.